Sorry, Louise killed me a minute ago with a comment.
Hello, welcome to our Juggz. This video is not sponsored by Colgate, but I'm not only coming in your ears, but I'm foaming in your mouth as well. Peaches and cream.
What is that?
Mrs. Peach bought it.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh,
Wait, no, because it's peaches and cream flavored toothpaste with a hint of mint.
A hint of mint.
oh.
Why?
Yeah.
Where did you find this?
Gotta keep them in.
Can I
Mrs.
smell
Peach.
it?
You smell it. You put it in your gob.
Oh, it actually
Put as
smells
much
quite
as you
good.
want.
It does smell good. I'm going to be using it later.
Oh, it actually smells really nice.
Do you
It
wanna
smells
sniff
a
of
little
my,
bit like a
cream?
mojito.
I don't want
Do
any
you
of
smell my
this.
cream? Smell
No.
my cream.
Smell his cream.
Hello,
Welcome to the
welcome
podcast.
to the show. We're
Welcome
joined
to
by a
the show.
special guest today, Kim. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
All the
Hi.
way from Sweden.
Yeah, and this is a perfect opportunity to say this in this international broadcast. Boys and girls who are watching at home. Well, English is not my first language, so
Same.
You can
keep
tell.
that in mind. Keep that in mind.
It's better than mine. My English is terrible.
Same.
That's actually
I
true.
wasn't even born
That's
here
true.
either.
It's Korean.
Yeah, okay.
And
yeah.
me.
It's a bit,
I can't read.
you could have
I
fooled
can't
me.
I can't read.
He
I
can't
can't talk.
read.
The more
I wasn't born here. Like,
I smelted lead in the
yeah,
mines
yeah.
of West Germany.
Yeah, it's like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil,
wait,
but
is
the
there
other
only
way
like?
around.
There's only actually one English person here.
Who?
You.
I'm half Scottish, Louise.
He's a German
We've
guy.
talked about this loads.
Das ist von Deutschland.
So,
Scottish
now I'm
melters.
getting really curious. So where are you from if not from England?
Scotland. I'm Scottish.
Scotland, yeah.
Germany.
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 Oh, you had that.
I'm
That
half
Yeah,
Scottish.
look.
Yeah.
I'm actually a bastard from the
dare to
north.
ask that, so it's
Yeah.
like,
And where are you from? In Sweden?
From Karlstad. So, it's a really tiny place between Oslo and Stockholm.
It's a beautiful city.
Never
Actually.
Yeah,
been.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
it's
been.
really
And it-
pretty.
It snowed not as much as it did last time you were there. But,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does it snow? Oh, I missed the snow.
Because you're from that region, I stumbled across a TikTok the other day,
Uh-oh.
and it
Yeah.
said Finland doesn't exist. It's just planted there by the Chinese as a fishing location. There's actually just sea. Is that true? Just Finland exists, or
yeah,
is it
it's,
just sea?
As an expert on fishing in Finland, I would say it's.
That's why we've got you on the show.
Yeah.
Finland and fishing.
Yeah.
And Chinese plants.
Peachy, I need to.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
There's loads I want to talk about, but I'm now actually doing a wellness check. The things you're
Oh,
watching on
wellness
the things
check.
you're watching on TikTok, because it sounds like
Oh no! I think I've cultivated a weird sort of algorithm.
Because you love a conspiracy.
I do, but I don't believe them.
But this is the problem. is
you
that,
have just asked a question about them.
I just want it for the record.
but
Okay.
like TikTok doesn't understand that you're doing it ironically. Oh
guess
no,
some
he's going to
weird
get into
stuff.
conspiracy
Some weird
TikTok.
stuff.
I think you'll realise he already is there because
Oh,
it's
no.
suggesting videos to him like that.
Can we compare TikTok algorithms?
I think
in a
we
bit?
should.
I think
Yeah.
we should.
Mine's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Trade phones and judge each other.
Have you heard about the TikTok?
I'm really glad I'm not on TikTok.
Oh,
so,
it's really
yeah.
fun.
You should go on it.
definitely
It's
get
really
TikTok.
fun.
Yeah, TikTok's great.
To be honest, I'm hardly on any social.
Really?
media.
Oh, you must have such good mental health.
Yeah.
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 So, that's what I tell everyone. Yeah.
My sister
Yeah, they can't
deleted.
see my tears. I'm crying on the inside.
Oh,
Oh,
bless
yeah.
you. My sister deleted all her
Nice.
social medias, and she's like, "It's the best thing she's ever done."
Yeah.
Shout out to Laura.
Shout out to Laura.
Yeah, how
Big
you
ups.
doing?
It was her birthday yesterday.
Birthday.
Let's
so
go,
let's
Laura.
all say happy birthday to my older sister.
That's you, chat.
Yeah.
Your
That's
birthday.
her.
Laura.
Happy birthday, Laura.
Yeah, she's the better Sugden. She's
I don't agree.
she's-
No offense,
she's-
Laura, but
oh
you're the
my
worst.
god, on her birthday. She's
you're
the,
not, she's not as good as you.
she's the
You're
well
not-
put
You're not
together.
Laura.
calling the honest wargaming for nothing.
Exactly.
She's
Yeah.
the
yeah,
well
it's
put
true.
together Sugden. She did ask where clouds come from not too
That's
long
those
ago.
machines, those big machines. You see those funnels in the.
What's another
They're
Lauraism?
called faxes. That's what I was told.
See it on TikTok.
So one of my favorite Laura-isms, my sister, is that she one time just goes to me and she's like, "Louise, isn't it weird that there's no natural thing that's orange?"
You mean an orange?
Yeah, what was another one she had? Are the runways in Heathrow longer because South Africa's further away, so they need more of like a run up? Her brain. She has thoughts.
Sounds beautiful. Like that brain sounds beautiful.
Yeah, she like I said, she is a pure, simple being, and I love her. No, she's extremely smart.
I like how the runways need a little bit more for that distance. That's good. That's clever. That's smart.
Because she was going to South Africa, and she's like, the runway's really long.
Is that Lady Maths again?
It might be Lady Maths. Yeah. But yeah,
something.
happy birthday to my older sister, Laura.
Today's show is going to be
Laura.
catching up with everyone and talking to Kim about the project he's working on, which is quite cool. And then in addition, we're going to later on be talking about other hobbies that we have.
Yeah, who are we?
Yeah,
Without
who are we as
Warhammer?
people? Yeah, what's behind the scenes?
It's really scary. I haven't really come up with anything yet.
So literally,
probably the first round hop that takes a while because I have to really
think about it.
So you're lucky because when me and Rob went on our first date, he sprung me with this question in the first maybe 20 minutes.
We're going to tell the first date story. This is pretty big.
Yes,
all right,
it wasn't cool at all.
Everyone drink your teas, lads.
I knew. Oh, are we doing it now? Are we doing it now? Yeah. So when me and Rob went on our first date, Rob was,
which we didn't know was a date.
Which you said because like whatever.
Yeah.
He was just a dickhead.
That's unfair. This is a public record, Louise. There are people watching this.
Did you or did you not purposefully make me spill my drink so that the waiter would come over and you said, sorry, she's really clumsy and embarrass me, even though you did it?
I did do that. It was actually really funny. Because when someone's got anxiety, right?
And you can tell that right away.
Yeah, when someone has anxiety, I think one of the things that really helps them is just to poke them.
Gaslighting.
Yeah. All these things are helpful.
No, it's gas lamping.
What?
No, it's not. It's gaslighting.
Yeah, exactly.
I
wouldn't know.
You just got TikTok.
Yeah. You just got TikTok.
One of the best things to do when people talk about gaslighting is to be like, sorry, I thought it was gas lamping. Like, are you sure you've got that
gaslighting
right?
the gaslighter.
Yeah, exactly. Or to be like, gaslighting's not real, you're just crazy. But yeah, so then Rob was like, so apart from Warhammer, what do you do? And I was like, why would you say this? So now we're doing that with everyone at the table.
It's cool.
Yeah, it turns out she didn't have to do anything else. That's not true.
I work.
Million.
That's just a fucking tragedy of it all.
I work.
Yeah.
I dream of labor.
I work when I do Warhammer as well, but it's
I think that's most people's. Warhammer is most people's hobby, right?
Well, this is it. When you asked me that question, I was like, who am I? Who am I?
That's a real existential.
It is. Yeah, I didn't love it, but we're getting back to that. So you all have time to think about who you are as people.
Perfect. Well, so Kim, you are here in England. How come you're over here?
Well, it's to be honest, I was dreaming of coming on this show.
Oh no!
Yeah,
is this a dream now?
Well, yeah, it's like a dream coming true.
TikTok
Me
conspiracy.
and Peachy instantly look at each other like, "Are you real?"
And I realized that my dreams, might not be like everyone else's dreams.
Oh, okay.
That's I said, coming here.
Aw.
No, but it's
it's a realistic dream.
It's
super realistic.
Yeah,
you know me.
Yeah,
it's very realistic to achieve.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes.
No. We actually came over here for this.
Mm.
We're doing a big promotion. It might be a strong word, but we're releasing a part of Milarki, as no one new watching this know about. But it's.
Do you want to tell us? Let's tell us what Milarki is.
Milarki?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you asked. No, but it's. We're doing a platform for Age of Sigma, like a community platform where you can play games and write your stories, and it's really a broad platform, so you can actually connect your physical hobby digitally. It's like,
it feels like a social media platform for wargaming, which is really cool.
But without the social media, which is
without like the weird obviously negative health benefits of social media.
I mean, it tells me about win rate. That's pretty negative to my mental health. Actually,
that's worse than likes and dislikes.
Yeah. It's like you're responsible for that number. That's tough.
Yeah, you get nothing to hide behind it.
Yeah. Like YouTube.
That's all me. That's all me.
To be clear, it's a website, isn't it? Where what you can do is you can play games. So like Peach, let's say you and me are playing a game, right? So if we had an account each, then what we can do is we can, on the website, we could say that we're playing each other, and then we can use, because in Age of Sigmar and in 40k and in most games, you need to track your score, right? So it's like a digital scorecard that lets you track it. But my favorite thing about it is that, like, once you've done that element, like, you can go back and look at the game and see who did what and when. but also it's got the ability.
You can stalk your friends.
Yeah. Well, you can because you can share
really
it. You can share it with your friends. So like, if I was like, me and Peach are playing a game, I can send it to Kim, and then he could watch live as the results were coming in, which is quite cool.
Because you're updating it on your phone as you go along.
But the feature I really like is the fact that you can take photos. And then
I like this.
And you can upload them to that individual match, and you can also. So you and me are playing Peach. I can leave comments, and you can leave comments.
So it's like a little social media platform for gaming.
So it kind of creates like a kind of battle report.
I was going to say, that's really cool.
And you also you can leave comments, but you also have what we call narrative posts. So you can write your like a narrative post connected to that, like a story connected to that game.
Yeah.
Because it started out as a narrative website, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell us like how it started out?
Yeah, me and Anders, which you call it Booben.
Booben.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had another name.
Yeah.
He has an actual human
not
name.
Real name.
Yeah. He's we're not sure he's really actual human, but he got a human name at least.
Huge.
Have you never met him?
He's like 6. How big is he? 6.
I think it's 211.
211 centimeters. So he's
I
like,
was about to say,
he's like 6'8", maybe 6'10".
That's really big.
But what's really funny is when I went over to Sweden to meet them, I said to Boob and I said to the guys, I was like, oh, the rest of his family big? They're like, no. I was like, his siblings? They're like, no. And I was like, what? They're like, I reckon a troll just came, swapped out the baby when they were a kid.
A giant came down from the mountains and just swapped out the baby. He is that big. I'll find a picture.
So we're kind of we're a weird duo.
Yeah.
So we did this.
You got big twins energy, right?
Yeah.
The movie.
Speaking of big twins energy, not James Workshop.
Yeah.
Making this very clear.
Yeah, you look a lot like James Workshop.
James Workshop.
Shit.
Oh, I'm out.
His Swedish twin. Steve,
you
if
told
you're
me
watching
he was
this.
Come on, the show.
Steve, if you're watching this, we have your Swedish twin. If you do want to hook up, let us
if
know.
you want to hook up, yes.
That would be funny.
Your Swedish brother.
I always say, okay, you met my brother James. Yeah.
It is uncanny.
It is uncanny.
Rob will not put a picture over the screen here, but
I will.
good.
As you know, I'm now editing with pretty high degree.
Yeah.
Good.
Did you see the Sardi's on Parade logo?
Man, I died of laughter. Yeah. I was so proud, and I want it. We should make that a thing now.
I also put up the picture of goblins with big asses. Like, what do people want from me?
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because, anyway, we'll talk about that
goblins
later.
With huge asses.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're going to circle back to that.
Yeah. Probably never.
I hope not. But anyway.
Yeah, so how did the website start?
So me and Anders, we have a gaming group where we did like a map campaign, narrative campaign. And then when it finished, we thought, you know what? It's kind of boring doing everything by hand. So reach out to a good friend of ours called Michael, who's a developer. So it's like, could you help us out? Like do like a web page to kind of automate so we don't have to do it in like spreadsheets. It's like, oh yeah, it sounds. He started a little too professionally.
A little too
so what do you want? Yeah, it was like, how do you want it? What do you want to do with it? So it's like real questions. So it's
not just fucking around anymore. Yeah.
And then we realized that he kind of got on board with it.
Yeah,
like, this sounds like a fun thing too. I've been looking for a project like this. So we started talking about it and realized, you know what, we can do so much more than this. We can do a website that everyone can use.
Yeah,
so not just our campaigns. We can like everyone can do their campaigns on this.
Yeah.
So we got a little hubris, started working on that, and so Michael got on board, and then things just went up from there.
Yay.
And we've been we're doing it on a spare time for 3 years now.
Oh wow!
So I think the thing you'd like about it, Peach, like specifically, like is that like it feels like it's really trying to marry the concept of like narrative gaming and competitive gaming, even though I think that they're linked.
Yeah.
But like that can sometimes be a little bit more challenging. So like one of the things that's really cool is there's like an ongoing global campaign, right?
Yeah.
So,
this is fun. Yeah, like you can play as part of a global campaign that's going on.
Which day, right? So then if you sign up to like be part of Chaos, Peach, then like every game that you win, Chaos will get more points, and then eventually they'll move the global story on
Sweet.
It's like when you had it in your local and you had that big board. Yeah, every local shop has the big board.
Yeah, you must have done this in the shop.
Every shop
we had
does it.
quite a few global campaigns that all failed horribly.
What was the failure point?
Oh, they just didn't. So if you remember the Armageddon one,
it's impossible to get people to do a campaign to the end.
Summer campaigns now.
So Armageddon, Eye of Terror were good. Even Storm of Chaos was okay.
But I remember those two. Yeah,
Nemesis Crown, Fall of Medusa 5. They were basically like trying to be those things, but then were nothing projects really.
What was the failure point?
They just fizzle out. People just lose steam.
And also, I think a lot of the people behind the scenes didn't really know what they were supposed to be doing with it as well.
Yeah.
So the Nemesis Crown was a great example that because I was in the team of like the group of people, and everyone would ring me up like, so what's going on for Nemesis Crown this week? I was like, I don't know. I've not been told anything.
Oh, no.
Why are you ringing me up? But you're on the group. I was like, yeah, I'm on the group, and I'm asking the same questions you guys are asking. I have no idea.
They just didn't support it either.
It felt like a great project that just didn't be executed. It wasn't executed very well. And there was this whole thing. It was to do with what's the big war boss on there?
Thracker?
No, he's on a wyvern. I think it was called
Azhag.
Azhag, yeah, because he's got the crown. It was to do with his crown, and it was basically whichever won would get parts of this Nemesis crown or whatever. And it just fizzled out. And the Fall of Medusa one was quite funny because it was like at the end of this campaign, a world will die, a world that only just existed, that no one cared about. Cool.
Feel really invested in it.
We're about to start a new campaign. Where is the campaign? It's on the doomed planet. And you're like, suspicious.
We just got a tombola and made some names up for it. So,
Yay.
Yeah, they weren't great, but I used to love those kind of things too.
Yeah, me too. And so it's really fun to dig in, to really try to create something
so I got
everyone can do, yeah.
Because you're aiming it for Age of Sigmar at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, Age of Sigmar.
Is this something that you might end up doing where you can like log into different accounts or different game systems to make different game system accounts?
It's a dream.
Yeah.
To do different game systems, because when we build the platform, like the basic functionality, you could move over to other games.
Yeah.
So, but it's a slow development since we're doing it in our spare time.
Yeah.
So it's something we see ourselves do, but we need to build, that the proper foundation and be really satisfied with the first step, which is Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So it's a dream, but there's nothing concrete about that yet. We're still too far off.
I think it'd be huge if you did 40K though, right?
I mean,
people would go crazy for that.
Because at the moment the name's quite nondescript, so it's not like a very Age of Sigmar
Milarki.
name, is it? So where did the name come from?
Yeah,
the name comes from it's a Michael Milarki. It's a Michael, and it's Ki is Kim. So it's Michael Larson, that's Anders Larson,
of course.
And
Kim.
Because Milarki is
good.
messing around.
Yeah,
as well.
But also
it's a hawk on that.
But also that's a tradition, right? Because that's also the same thing with IKEA.
What? What do you mean? Is IKEA
the names, yeah.
The name IKEA is, if I've got this right, is the name of the children? No.
I think so.
Yeah.
Was it just like all their names smushed up?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Smart,
I didn't know that. I assumed it was just like a place in Sweden.
Denmark was a thing like Lego.
Place in Sweden.
It is. Many places in Sweden.
Oh, Lego means let's play.
I think Lego means play or something like that.
Oh, does it?
I don't know.
So. What do all the names mean?
What does Warhammer mean?
What does it all mean?
What does it all mean?
Warhammer, hammer.
So welcome to the philosophical podcast.
We should do that.
I like Warhammer, hammer being what Warhammer means.
I have a question for you two across the table.
Okay.
You don't really see that they're across the table from me, but it's
Hi. Sometimes I like to go in Peachy's.
Yes,
people that.
So what we're doing now. So like the next step is what we call collections. That's it's kind of like when we bring. We've done GHB, so like proper competitive gaming.
Yeah.
We Spearhead.
That's General's Handbook, right?
Yeah.
For anyone that didn't know what that was.
Yeah. Competitive gaming. It's like the boring part of Age of Sigmar, as I say.
Yeah. Oh.
You got other people who differs on my team. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But it's fun because we're so different, everyone. But that aside, we do collections. And that is when you bring the hobby into Milan.
I think Ruben's talked to me about this, so it's exciting.
Like for the painters and the gamers.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like I just wanted to throw it out to you.
He's the both. I'm the painter. We have a good mix of people around this table. Yeah.
The question is now, what would you like what did you feel like you're missing, in the painting scene? And
so this is my thing. I miss. Remember the website Cool Mini or Not?
Oh God, yeah.
What happened to that? That used to be like
they became a gaming company.
Yes, start making their own range of miniatures, didn't they?
I didn't know
That's
that.
what Simon is.
Really? Oh, well, I miss that. I like Cool Mini or Not used to be like, if you're like a new person in the hobby, maybe it used to be. Remember when websites were a thing?
Yeah.
Remember when there wasn't just like
Remember
4
when the internet
websites?
was a thing?
Yeah.
In the 90s, when I grew up,
Yeah.
they had what started as Hot or Not.
Oh
like
my
the
God,
website.
I remember
And
that.
that came
so bad.
Cool Mini or Not.
Yeah.
It's like
there was one for like rating people's poops in the toilet.
to that Hot or Not website.
Do you remember that one as well? Yeah, we all remember.
RateMyPoo.com.
RateMyPoo.com. There was
There's
this
an app for that now.
Oh my God, is it? No, that's the pooping app where you can just like tell people when you're pooping.
No, so it's more than that though. It's more than that because if you publicly poop,
why shouldn't you have an app for that?
Yeah.
The app is more than that. 'Cause if you publicly poop, then people can be like, they can like comment.
Can rate the toilet that you
can
pooped
rate
in.
it.
Yeah.
They can ask you questions.
Rob is a number 2 user, I should say.
I use it a lot.
Number 2
Anyway.
user.
Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of this. Like I don't have a lot of the
Shit
rewards.
experience?
Yeah, like because I'm always pooping in the same places. I never go anywhere.
Yeah,
so
same. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta
hoping-
travel.
Yeah, you got to travel.
Either
Not
way.
America though, because they've got the gaps in the door.
Oh yeah, American toilets are weird. It's like you want people to watch you poop and don't love it.
Mad.
What?
Like,
Yeah. Okay, so American toilets are whack. Like it's like being in a
I've
nightmare.
been to America. I don't remember
It's like it's like being in a nightmare. It's like being in a nightmare.
Yeah,
like
really.
imagine
Have
a
you been?
comfortable poop experience, and then everything's just slightly wrong.
Okay.
Like you go in there, you sit down, and just the water's a bit too close to your butt.
Oh yeah,
That's also
Okay.
true.
Yeah,
it's like-
That's also true.
Yeah.
A huge,
Huge, like you
Got- yeah,
maybe
yeah,
maybe
seen
if
that,
you
yeah.
relax into it a bit, maybe your butt gets a bit wet.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows?
Neptune's
And then-
kiss, as you like to call it.
Yeah.
Neptune's kiss.
That's
That's
what
like
we're
the water
referring
comes
to
back
it
up.
now.
That sounds
Yeah.
almost romantic.
Jesus
which is
Christ.
From the lady, you could
kind
say.
of disturbing in another way.
I don't love that. Anyway, and then, but then the door everywhere has like a 2-inch gap.
Why?
Yeah, in the actual
I don't
door when you
know.
close it, they've got a 2-inch gap, and they're never full doors. It's always
A
like
wee bit of cardboard.
it's always like I'm going to say like a 12-inch
Sure,
gap
yeah.
at the bottom.
Yeah.
Where it's just like
someone could shove their entire head under
There's
it.
too many
nightmare-
horror movies. That's what it is.
Yeah, nightmare situation. I was reading a Reddit post the other day. Someone was like, I was on the loo, and a kid just crawled under the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're like, what do you do in that situation? Die. I would just
Die.
I die.
Die.
I just-
so then when you flush the toilet, it's like, okay, nothing's happening. Then earth-shattering, like
It was
minus
like a
volcano.
tornado,
Yeah.
vortex.
Vortex, that's
Yeah,
the
I'm
one.
not too
Yeah.
stressed
And then
about
it goes
the.
like back to normal, and it's like, what the
I'm not too
fuck?
stressed about the seat itself. I can commit to that, but
A
it's
little Neptune's
but the
kiss.
gap.
The gap.
The
yeah.
gap
I
is
kinda-
outrageous.
I like. I mean, at
We all
home, you're
Talk
more
about
comfortable.
surveillance state.
We all struggle with something. That's what I tell you.
Yeah. This is a big problem in the world.
Anyway, I miss the website Cool Mini or
Yeah.
Not. I
Wow.
really enjoyed that format because it
Can't
did
believe that's
feel
where we started
like
for that.
I remember
Yeah.
I posted a few of my miniatures
nice
there.
comeback day, coming back on
I
track.
love it. Yeah, like I
Never
remember
seen that before on this show.
I
Yeah,
posted.
it shut down, didn't it? You could say it went down the toilet.
Oh my god, shut up! It's
So-
not Cool Minis
So-
anymore.
It's,
But
fun,
yeah,
it's funny you
I miss
mentioned
that.
Cool Minis or not,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
that's kind of like we based we thought about
Oh,
that actually
wonderful!
because we want to like kind of like a Pinterest kind of everyone's posting so you can just
Yeah.
doom scroll.
So I could be
yeah.
like, oh,
People's
this is a
minis,
cool
you know,
one. This is a
yeah,
cool one.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
literally.
So
I love
could I
that.
be like doing my little bat report? We've taken photos of the game and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I want to know more about that unit. You click on that unit. There's a nice little like Instagram picture of my like regiment with like maybe some narrative information about. Oh, that's really cool. I like
They've
that.
already done it.
Because you
They've
can
already
do
done
the creative thing and just log all the minis you got on the shelf. Just put it all in the system, and you just see, and you can get that
little
pile of
buzz.
shame score,
Yeah,
for example.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
so you have both the player part where you actually do inventory of the game things you have. And then in the future, it's going to be able to link with your games. So when you scan a list, so they see that you have too many long strikes. Okay, they're going to pull that from your collection
that's cool.
into that.
Yeah.
But then also we try to do for the gamers, so that you two can put up,
Me?
the nice painted minis that you've got and
Heck yeah.
showcase those.
Yeah,
So it's, we try to build for those. I want to pick your brains.
I think I
to be honest,
had a
because
big call with Boobin about this, and we had a chat about stuff we'd like to see. And I'm like, I just want the cool social media site for painters. So like, say I click on my own like profile? What do I want to present? What do I want to show off on my thing? I would be like, let me see a list, right? Let me be like, oh, there's Louise's Zeech list. What's in it? And it's like a nice picture of my main guys, a nice picture of my things. It's like, oh, cool. What games have they played recently? And you can see that. And there's like pictures, like you can follow, like in the same way there's like, painting influencers where you like to follow what they're painting. You could have these like, I don't know, gaming ones where it's that guy that has the nice army and I want to see what he's doing this week. I think that's really cool. And there's not really a platform for that.
There isn't. You're right. No. Do you know what would be really cool? It's for Necromunda. Is if like you got deeper into a campaign and there was like a picture of your Necromunda guy and he was like 7 kills. Like a stat card thing.
I think
one of the things that's super interesting for me, because I've been a Malarkey fan for a while.
You use Malarkey, don't you?
Yeah, so I use it to run all my events.
Do you?
Because it's for me, it's primarily a pairings site.
That's what we put a lot of effort into.
Yeah.
Pairings. So what do you mean pairings?
So like, so when you run an event, like let's say like, a smaller event or even a massive event, if let's say we've got 100 people playing, then they need to play each other. We need to be like, right, click a button, right, you're all playing and these are the tables you're playing on. And then it's a public thing. So I don't need to tell each one of those so
they can all look at their phones and be like, I'm at this table with this guy.
Yeah, and then once they've submitted their scores, you then need the software to say, right, okay, start again. We need all the winners to play the winners and the losers to play the losers.
Yeah.
But then round 3, it's more complicated, right? Okay, everyone that's won play each other a bit, but like those 2 drew, but then they won a game and lost a game. So like, and it starts getting it's not super complicated, but someone has to program. Someone has to program it and do the math.
That's wild programming.
And there are loads of websites all around the world that do
pairings.
That do just pairings. Like Best Goes Pairings obviously is like the most famous one if you're a Warhammer fan, but then like especially for Age of Sigmar, Swedish did use Exen quite a bit. And then the people in the Netherlands use the Pumpun.
The Punpun.
The Punpun.
Which Rob's just likes to say.
Put it on the Punpun.
Stop it.
Stick it on the Punpun.
Stop that.
I've got a Punpun dance. It's the whole thing. They did Worlds for 2 years. They did Worlds on the Punpun. So I had to get used to saying it.
I don't love the Punpun.
I don't like that it's called the Punpun, but like I had to talk about it every day.
Stick it on the Punpun.
Stick it on the Punpun. The French just use like an Excel spreadsheet. They're like the
absolute savages.
Absolute diabolical savages. But like that, all of those are good examples. And Malarkey's a good example of something which I think has been super. Now, before the comments tell me, actually, Rob, in Conquest: Last Augment of Kings, there is already a free app and it already does all these things. Or I don't know what like there is, right?
Yeah.
Like I know that there's quite a few of the game companies have free apps.
Yeah.
But Games Workshop have really abandoned the digital space or the digital complement to their products.
Fancy.
They have,
just a big word.
I would say that
it was just. I wasn't disagreeing. You just said a fancy.
Well, it's like when they did things like Kill Team and Warcry. You had these apps that would go well with them, but then they weren't updated enough.
No.
And then
abandonware, right?
Yeah, abandonware. That's the
term. But they've had list builders
on the site.
Yeah, on the sites. Yeah, off and on.
Yeah,
but never like a gaming support kind of an app.
Yeah, like a little everything. Yeah,
which is really weird. Like obviously running a tournament, you want you want it to run smoothly, right? And it's weird that it's always been left to like third-party developers. What's super weird is, as a good example, right? So Age of Sigmar comes out, right? And all the scoring has to change. And you're like, okay, we're going to change all the scoring. Cool. On the parent website. And then you're like, okay, how much do people win by now? Because it might be a completely new system.
Yeah.
Like it might be completely changed. Like in 40K, it's 100 points. In Age of Sigmar, it's like a certain amount of points per turn up to a maximum of 10. And it's like, cool. They just don't tell anyone. So like, what's normally happening is like they'll release a new game and then you'll be like, okay, cool. But you've known for years, you use it at Warhammer World, that we need the parent software to run an event.
Yeah, it's not like there would be a scenario where that wouldn't happen in the future.
No, and then they're like, that's true. And you're like, could you let us know what any of it is? And they're like, fuck you.
Now, Robert.
Well, that's how it feels as an external person.
There you go. He's got big feelings about it.
Yeah. Right. So like, there's been a lot of like tried and tested like apps, I think, apps and websites like for Warhammer and also other game systems, right?
Yeah.
Like which is pretty common, and it's weird because it leaves. It's great for you guys, because it leaves an opportunity for people to create stuff,
something really good,
to do something really good. There was did anyone see that app that was like your pile of shame?
No,
there was an app that was like
What, that you could basically log? Oh, I feel like I did see a few people where you could basically make an inventory of everything you've got.
Exactly.
Yes,
I kind of did that on Google Drive anyway, just so I
So
knew
people,
what I had.
people do that, right?
Me and Peachy like making inventories. We'll get around to that later. We'll get around to that later. One of our hobbies.
I had it as well.
Yeah.
Like an inventory, an Excel file with.
For me at the moment, it's because I've got like a couple of boxes on top of my actual Ottoman box full of my plastic box sets, and I'm like, can't be asked to take all that stuff off and lift up. What have I got in that box? Oh yeah,
I need to do that. I need to start doing that with my Gundam.
And that's nice because then collection comes and help you out.
Yeah.
So it feels like, and after that we're going for the Path to Glory, which I really been waiting for 3 years.
Yeah.
To develop. So then you can play all the games and your hobby kind of inside the same platform, which I like.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Because as you say, there are a lot of specialist websites. Where you have one for pairing, you got one for the tournament thing, you got one for the point,
for the pile of shame.
And then we wanted, but couldn't we just do everything in one?
And also in some situations, like Yak Tribe's a really good example.
Yes,
Yak Tribe is not updated with quite a lot of the current Necromunda stuff, right? Because it's just some developer, and you're like, that's cool, but are you gonna update it? Because he doesn't have to, right?
Please.
Yeah.
There's no impetus.
What if we said please?
Yeah, I mean, they do try though. Because I've used it quite a lot.
Is this the Necromunda one?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
context, Yak
I
Tribe.
remember
using that back in the days when I was playing Necromunda.
It's really for me. I mean, I like the fact they include the old gang book as well. So if you did want to do the gangs of Necromunda and not like the house books, you could still play using that system. But I only recently realised you could take photos of your gangs and then have them.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm not sure if you can do it for each individual guy. I'd like that, and then it would almost look like a cool sort of
wanted poster.
Oh, wanted poster, or like this is the characters, all these stats and stuff like that. And that's the kind of thing I like. It's like my units. If I painted my unit, I want it to look like a data sheet or a war scroll.
Yeah.
So like with Milarki, like if I have like my Cities of Sigma units and stuff like that. They've got names like the Dragon Slayers, and there's like a picture of the banner that I've taken a photo of the unit.
You can actually do like your general as a character.
Yes.
In the system, with photos and background stories and things, and your army.
Yeah.
Got to get
background story and photos and everything.
Yeah. So but the big problem has been in the past, like when people just independently create something to support games, because Games Workshop don't do it, right?
No.
So it's always someone else, and when someone else either develops it and then just leaves it, which is really fair.
Yeah, because they're not beholden.
Or in the case of what was it called? It was the way that you made 40k lists. It was
I used to use it. Scribe.
Battle Scribe became like a crazy scam, Peach. Like
what?
So like basically what happened was...
I used to use Battlescribe all the time.
I found that quite hard sometimes to navigate.
Yeah, it's really hard to navigate. Yeah.
I think I used it, but I used to use it in like pre-2016. So I think I was fine.
So the Battlescribe drama, like just to loop you in real quick, and it's very, very public, is what happened was, so Battlescribe is like, you click a bunch of stuff to make a list, but it uses a repository of information somewhere else. A bit like how you would used to download, not me obviously, people would download music and movies and stuff.
Illegally. Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Would you steal a car?
Maybe.
Remember that one and when you rented a videotape.
Yeah,
you wouldn't steal a car.
My favorite one was you wouldn't download a car, and it's like, absolutely, I would download the car.
I've probably mentioned this before, but the irony of that trailer is they illegally used the music.
Oh yeah, did you hear?
Really?
They didn't have the license.
The irony of that.
They didn't have the license.
Yeah,
you can't make that up.
Yeah, it was so funny.
So the quick TLDR is that basically the people who would keep the data up to date, the repository people, made none of the money from Battlescribe, right? Okay. Because that would be there was a subscription bit to it as well, and it made loads of money. We're talking like tens of thousands of pounds a month, right? For sure. So they made nothing.
Everyone used it,
but then they were constantly saying to this guy, "Hey, could you update stuff?" And he basically went AWOL for like 2 years. Oh, wow. Then 2 years after. Then what happens is if you don't update the app in a certain amount of time, the app store's like, I'm going to delist you. because you're abandonware.
Not active,
You're not active. You're abandonware, so we'll get rid of you. So at that point, he obviously got the email, realized he wasn't going to be making like 10 grand a month or whatever the hell it was. Because I think it was more than that, Peach. I think it was like nuts money, right?
It must have been.
So he came back and like immediately like the Twitter profile from him just came live. Was like, I'm back, and I was like, where the fuck have you been? Like we've been trying to use this, and like you've like so then the people that made
it's not been updated for 2 years.
Yeah, then the people who made the data were like quite rightly very upset, and they were just like, look, we've been maintaining this and keeping it going. You've made all the money. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to change. I'm going to do all these things.
Did they get paid?
Do this stuff. No. They never got paid.
They got paid maybe a little bit.
No, they got paid nothing.
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 Nothing. Nada.
No.
Nilch.
But then he came back and then he like made like basically 5 tweets, and then he was like tweeting every day for like 2 weeks, and they just managed to get into the night, just taking the money again.
He did enough to stop his app being taken down,
but
nothing to support it.
And enough of like, and put a sob story up and was like, I'm swayed. And you're like,
he's allowed to be swayed.
He's allowed to be, but it's tough to be sad when you got like 20 grand a month. Just put it out there.
Honestly, I can think of a few things I could do with 20 grand a month. Maybe a little bit less to it.
Yeah.
But
more Sylvanian families.
More Sylvanian families, which we'll get around to later. But the sob stories are allowed. People are allowed to have depression.
No, I know. But it was quite clearly like a scam, right? Like he came back like it
or
was
at
like
least he was keeping his head above water at the expense of other people.
Yeah, he wouldn't even reply to people's stuff. But anyway, that's the BCP thing. But my point is like this stuff is because it's all third party. People want it.
Yeah.
It's third party, and when it's people you can't know and trust,
like,
I think that becomes like a real problem. So it's nice having you guys be quite public, talk about stuff, because you do a podcast, don't you, where you talk about things.
Yeah, we're trying to start. Yeah, we're trying to actually start a few of those because it's nice to actually have like editorial things as well.
Mm-hmm.
The story we write and like editorial things to add to the value of the product, because it's
sure.
We want to be more than just log your game.
Yeah.
So it's we're exploring, and the nice thing about building this and having it is like, what do you want to do? Or I want to do this. Why not do it then?
Yeah,
you can get the chance to actually do a podcast, and I know Jesper is a really good player, second in the world.
For Aussie Arc Bone Reapers.
With Aussie Arc Bone Reapers, yeah. He and Ronja, who's also one of the best players in the world.
I love Ronja.
They're thinking about doing a podcast where they talk about the game, really competitive.
Cool. I would watch the shit out of that.
You should do that, because it enables you to do things that you would like as well. It's not just hard work.
Yeah,
you can actually
do stuff.
You treat yourself to something that you would like to try.
Yeah,
I feel like Rob has a very similar attitude of like, why don't we just like make it so it happens? Yeah. I don't
smart.
know.
Yeah. Head down, ass up, keep going. That's my motto.
What the fuck?
That's always been my motto. It's always been my motto.
Down, ass
But
up,
talking about
keep
hard
going.
work, Peach, what have you been up to this week?
Oh yeah.
That was a good segue. Good segue.
Nice.
Strong. What have I been up to? I had a fun video that came out. It was a twosie. It was a twosie from the moment I launched it to now.
Go.
So I was the onesie was the Rohan video I did. So
that popped off.
Yeah, that weird. The sound was awful, but there's loads of people.
No one gave a fuck.
No, apparently not.
Nobody gave a single fuck.
But recently, the guys that do Baron's War, Hobday and Hicks, have launched their own website because they have something called Futsal Miniatures, which I think is linked with like Trish's stuff.
Yeah, I know Futsal.
So they've got Hobday and Hicks, which is their own website. They do a game called Baron's War. So if you've ever heard of Baron's War, it's feudal knights. So it's that kind of era. During the Baron's War, you could get something called pronounce it right, Outremer. It's sort of like the Crusades.
Wouldn't know any better if you pronounced it wrong.
But Andy kind of like, I've got a board game I used to love as a kid called Cry Havoc, and Baron's War is kind of based off that kind of system, but it's with miniatures, and there's like loads of cool plastics. But they released a fantasy version called Warhost, and it's very akin to Lord of the Rings, old classic Warhammer. So the orcs feel very classic Warhammer, but they also feel very Lord of the Rings. And I just did a video on that. And
is this my favorite orcs aren't from Games Workshop?
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, it was a good thumbnail too.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I was a bit unsure if it would.
Oh no, I really liked it. I really liked it. Yeah.
I thought I'd go with, because there's so many things I was like, do I mention it about it being Baron's War? Should I put some pictures of Baron's War?
It's always hard.
There's a lot of people that know what Baron's War is, and this is the fantasy version. There was a Kickstarter. Do I cover that? I was like, you know what? I'll just talk about I hate painting orcs.
You do,
but I enjoyed painting these orcs because they were quite. I like Mordor orcs, and I like
Peachy doesn't like
classic games.
Why don't you like painting orcs?
Doesn't like painting green.
I think, unlike Louise, I hit my threshold of painting savage orcs during my days in the studio, and painting nothing but green skin, which I don't enjoy painting, bone, which I don't enjoy painting, and stone, which I don't enjoy painting, killed
Bone
me.
And stone.
So after that, I got sick and tired of painting green skin, so I don't really paint orcs. I love the background, I love the models, I love what people do. I just find it really hard to put paint to model.
But you found some orcs that you like doing.
Found some orcs that I like. A few people have said, "Oh, it's very akin to Oathmark because that has a similar kind of style." And I can see that, but it does feel like it's going to be the same thing. But yeah, that went really well. Really pleased.
That's cool.
Congratulations.
And then this week I've been working on a video to complement my bat report I did.
The V1.
The V1, yeah. So many people have asked about scale of vehicles in the comments and how I go about making my board, and also just general, like, how do you go about making narrative games and stuff. So it's kind of, I've not covered how to play the game. I've kind of covered one rule in there, which is quite cool, but most of it is just waffling on.
Sounds like some fun videos.
Yeah.
Lots of fun videos. I've really enjoyed it. I was generally surprised by the Warhost, not because I don't think it's a great product, it's an awesome product, but I just didn't think many people would be interested.
It's always interesting seeing what people actually click on, right?
And I think sometimes, it's random. Yeah. Like, you know, like I really do believe that. I think some days people are like, I'm going to watch YouTube today.
Yeah.
And then they
I'm going to watch a little YouTube today.
Like, you know, and there's probably some like real clever data scientists who can be like, actually, at this point during a month on a Tuesday afternoon, people are a little bit like...
If you're in the chat, let us know.
Yeah.
Please comment, what is the best date and time for me to post my videos?
Because you can look at you can look at your audience and when they're active the most.
That doesn't mean that when you post it then.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's self-referential because like if you were always posting at a certain time, they're most active then.
I don't think there is a good time. I think
I always go for Fridays if I can.
We post quite similar times, which is fun because it means that people can watch both our videos back to back, which is nice.
I just post literally when I'm like, that's done. Post.
It's just like, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday.
Why was Juggz at 4 whatever time it was, like when you post up Monday? I was like, because Rob's thinking the Americans. Yeah. Thinking the American people.
It's a conspiracy. Fuck you, America.
He's supporting our American viewers. He's giving them something to watch. That's what he's doing.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really pleased for Andy and Paul as well, because I know that, you know, it's their project and their website launched. So I kind of hope that it's helped draw people to their thing, but I got loads of new subscribers from it as well.
Oh, good. That's great.
That was really nice.
I think you're doing such a good job of being like like we've talked about this a lot, right? But you've been an amazing advocate for all of like the games at the fringe or stuff at the side, which I think
I've never heard of before that isn't Warhammer.
Yeah.
You're like the cool friend that introduces you to all the
cool I feel bad though for like
you're the gaming sommelier.
The gaming sommelier.
I know what that word means now.
I never remember it.
It's a good word.
It's something wine. You're good. You're good at wine.
Yeah.
Whining.
Louise, what you been up to?
Oh, I posted my video on sculpting, which was really good fun.
Yes, yeah. Did watch that? It was good.
It was fine. It did okay, but like tutorial videos, I'm coping. It didn't do as well as maybe some other videos I've done recently. I don't care because I liked the video a lot.
Do you think it'll be like an evergreen one though?
Maybe. Like tutorial videos, like I was going to say before I caught myself because it was a massive cope just to blame it on other things. But if I was to do a cope, tutorial videos tend to kind of simmer at a low level, but people consistently go back to them. Yeah. So it's a thing that a lot of like us Warhammer hobby YouTubers have noticed is that like we make fun videos, like your videos where we're like, and challenge videos. A lot of my videos are like, I painted the ugliest miniature in the world to try and make it look good. Those videos tend to kind of like do better. But then in the comment section, people are like, I miss your tutorials. I miss just learning how to paint. And you teach me how to paint red or stone or like how to sculpt. And then you make those videos and they do much worse, but they do similar at a lower level because people Google things and then they go back to it. And I really liked it. And most excitingly, I decided to paint one of the miniatures that I made.
Which one did you do?
It was a little... Oh my God, I've not shown you it yet. No. I painted the little mushroom guy. And he turned out so good.
I was watching it on the video when you were making the mushroom guy. I was like, this is so good. Just like you talking about the different shapes.
It was so simple. But so I painted him and he actually turned out like way better than I thought it would be. So I'm going to release them as a miniature on my Patreon, which as you're watching this should be a thing. So if you liked my little mushroom man, Rob, put a picture here.
I'll do it.
Can I get him with a machine gun?
I'm making it silent so he has to fill it with something. He has to fill it with
do it.
You know what we have to do? We have to get the actual picture and just put it in front of the camera.
I'll do it. Listen, I'm going to make a promise to the Juggz audience. I'm going to try and do a better job of uploading the pictures.
Do you want me to find pictures and send them to you?
That would be great. That would be great.
Put a picture of a butt here.
Because normally when I'm editing them, you're both asleep or something. A butt?
I don't know. I can now just manifest pictures.
I'll put a picture up of a butt. And now, do you know what? I'm going to have fun with the editing. Now I'm going to put a picture up of someone who I think is a butt. Right?
It's me. My face.
Anyway, so I'm going to put the STL for the little mushroom guy on my Patreon, and now I'm going to make him part of Rascal Town, which means I've also sculpted my first miniature for my own miniature range.
I'm clapping on the table.
Well done.
Yeah. If you look from behind,
that's what they call them over here.
Yeah.
I once caught one of the army painters. So sometimes when we're like cleaning models, you get like your knife,
Peachy.
and you're like filing away.
Was he doing it under the table?
Because we used to have a room. I came into the room and like one of them was just like this, and I was like, James, what are you doing?
Not James.
And he's like, I'm cleaning. I'm like, it doesn't look like you're cleaning.
It does look like he's cleaning.
It does not.
Anyway, so back to my delightful story. I released my own miniature for my own miniature range.
That's amazing.
That's actually really cool.
It's so cool. Like I didn't think.
Talking about, doing dreams.
Yeah.
Actually, when you accomplish the channel, you can focus on doing something why not do a miniature you want to do it.
I've always wanted to try sculpting.
Treat yourself to when you can do
that was exactly
that you
what
wanted
I did.
to do. Like
I never thought I could do sculpting, and I've always wanted to. And then I got myself a fancy new iPad for Christmas. I was like, why not just like one night give it a go? And then I discovered that I really enjoyed it. And then I was just like, well, it's just print and then it was so easy, and I just had a miniature. So the video was just about that, just being like, oh, this is fun. Oh, it's actually quite easy. Oh, now I have a miniature. Let's all do this. So that was really good fun. And this week I have just been painting an ugly little space marine.
An ugly space marine.
Yeah. So in I think
like the ugly duckling story.
It does not grow up to be.
That's what I've always thought about space marines. I'm like, wow, they're handsome.
It's grown up ugly.
Bless him.
So in Space Marine 2, there was like a fan created Space Marine chapter called the Crayon Eaters, as we know. So I've decided to kind of brush off some cobwebs, because in the Crayon Eaters you basically have to paint every single color on one Space Marine. That I do that and it's hideous.
Yeah,
I want to say right now.
I think I've seen you do something. Or there was something on your stories.
I posted a very early whip because I tried to do it on stream and then did no painting. Oh yeah, I've been streaming too.
Yeah,
which is fun. There's been lots of questions asking when you're going to come back to stream.
So I was talking to Ellison, and the suggestion was to do it this week. So when I premiere, I'm going to try and premiere my video. But this is all contingent because I've got a sponsor. I've had to redo the sponsor because I did some links wrong in one of the last videos I did. Because they're in the States and it took a while for the communication to come back. They've got to okay the video, and it might end up not being Friday. It might end up being Saturday. So I need to.
That's fine. Saturday's still good.
Yeah, but I want Saturdays for me time with family time. But I know.
Playing Minecraft with your child.
Minecraft more often is what happens.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Honestly, I really want to join in. I'd have such good fun.
There's one track on Minecraft that reminds me of your dungeon synth music you used to do.
Oh my god! So the Minecraft music is so good.
It's so good. I love it.
It's so good.
Every now and again, Charlie's playing on his tablet, and I'll be like, "That's my favorite tune, Charlie." And then he'll come in, he'll be playing. He's like, "Dad, your favorite tunes are like, come on, let's listen to my favorite tune."
It's really, the soundtrack's really nice, and it is dungeon synth.
It is.
Yeah,
dungeon synth,
it's phenomenal.
There's one that just. Because when you started doing your things on the stories, it was like, that sounds so much like Louise's music.
Yeah, it does. And thank you, because I do love the Minecraft soundtrack. It's good. But what were you saying? Oh yeah, so I'm painting an ugly little space marine. I've been doing some streaming, and I had a really interesting conversation on stream, which is, so I want to make a video about this, but I don't want to make a video about this because my channel is very much about positive aspects of the hobby that people can come to for a nice time. But recently, I've noticed that I'm just not as excited as I used to be about loads of 40k releases.
Same.
Exactly.
Same.
Not everybody, that's unfair, but a lot of people feel the same way. So I did a little poll. I chatted about it on my Twitch chat, and I did a little poll which was like, have you fallen out of love with 40k? And the top answer was yes, a little bit. The second top answer was something just feels different. And then I think it was like no, and then yes. So a lot of people, or at least a lot of the 400 odd that were watching there, feel the same way as me, which is like, compared to how I used to feel about 40K, things are coming out and I'm just not as excited for it. Why?
I was saying this to Liz. I was like, I don't know where it's come from. And I don't know if it's because I've been so exposed to it for years working in the business and I've moved away. Yeah. This is why I'm like, I've enjoyed looking at all these other games. But it's the same for Age of Sigmar. And I like Age of Sigmar. And my thing for Age of Sigmar was Warcry. I got really into that. That was my outlet for Age of Sigmar because at that point I didn't really get the time to do like big collections and stuff. Having a child sometimes eats into your time in the evening. I know. Feeding them, how dare they be fed? So Warcry was great, but now that feels like that's going. And I'm like,
yeah.
No, but it feels like it's going away. Or?
Yeah. It's
like your love for it or Warcry itself?
No, the game itself.
Well, that's a problem.
I've heard things and rumblings about like it's changing and it's not a good change. But I like the game system.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you love Warcry?
Yeah, it's perfect. When you don't really have time for the big ones.
Yeah. And that's something I was going to say with your Milarki thing. Is like I know you've got Barry, who's one of my patrons, Barry Shepherd. He has something called Optimal Game State, and he does a load of YouTube videos on that. But he has his Warcry. You got all the cards there, but you can also like create your own as well. So I use that like if I want Sisters of Sigma, make my Sisters of Sigma from Mortime.
Yeah, I
can then look at like Sisters of Sigma characters and stuff, and put my own photos in and stuff. Yeah. So I love that, and it's like I don't know what is going to happen with Optimal Game States thing if like Warcry goes because that's like a big shame. But yeah, I feel like there's something in the wind. And I don't like
this is my thing is no, it's relevant because like. So if I was to make a video about it, I think it wouldn't be like why Games Workshop is now shit because I'm trying to reflect on myself about why I feel this way.
Yeah.
And like you may be like that's already a bit too serious or whatever, but it's important to me because I attributed it to like a few things that it could possibly be. Like first of all, I'm looking as you do. So like it's coincidental that all the best music came out when you were young and impressionable, right? Like that's the thing which happens to people where I got into Warhammer very young. And of course, the first 5 years of seeing Space Marines, everything was fucking sick because I've never seen that kind of Space Marine before. And it may just be that I'm looking back on that period of time and I'm with my like rose tinted glasses and I'm like, Space Marines used to be cool because I'm looking back on a time when I hadn't really seen a Space Marine before. So obviously it was cool. So I think part of it could just be like, I've been in the hobby for 10 plus years now, like actively, that's a long time. And I'm reminiscing about a time where everything was new and exciting. Yeah. It could be that. It could, I think there's a big portion of that. It could just be like, did I leave the company and then like I was overexposed? Like maybe, but I feel like I was a Warhammer fan before, I was a Warhammer fan during, and I still love Warhammer. And then it's like, is it because Games Workshop is toning down the Warhammer 40k IP to be a bit more like user friendly because it's going to be an Amazon thing? That's why Space Marines maybe are a bit more boring. I don't know. I wouldn't like to think that.
I think there's a fourth as well.
Space Marines always been boring.
Well, this is it. This is what I mean. Like, is it just that I remember a time where I saw a Space Marine for the
like I love it that it's like, when Space Marines were exciting. When I started back in the 90s it was never cool.
Yeah, they were.
Sisters of Battle, those were cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my first army.
So then I compare it to things like, okay, well, is it because I see Age of Sigmar and everything looks cool. So I think in my brain, I'm still excited for Warhammer because I see like that new troll, like underworld warband. And I'm like, that's fucking dope.
I mean, Kill Team gets it for me because it's like, they come out with cool kill teams, but I just don't like the game. And I think that's what kills it for me is the game just feels, it could have been like Warcry efficiency, but it's not. There's a lot more.
Yeah. I think maybe those are two different things, right? Like you're like, you love the kits for Kill Team, but like, so you're excited, but then you know it's part of the game and you're not really interested in that.
I purely come into it from like a miniature part. I used to play the game more often.
Can I give you an anecdotal story which might give some insight? So I used to DJ nightclubs, as many people know.
What?
And I did it for nearly 15 years. Wow. Right, yeah. Kim, you also DJ, right?
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
no way.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
A lot of disco. I even brought my USB with me, and not sure why. But
just in case. Just in case.
That's the mark of a good guy.
Yeah,
just in case.
Maybe you're dreaming about about just walking by. Oh, so I can play here.
Don't worry about it.
Some women on the street like, won't someone DJ for me?
That's a weird thing because that's a kind of like a meme. Where all the DJs that you always have your USB with you, to maybe
if someone needs a DJ.
Armin van Buuren, he couldn't show up. Oh, is there anyone out here with a USB?
It's like a doctor, but not serious.
The meme that you're dreaming about doing things. The funny part is that I was in New York a lot of years ago.
Oh my God, did it happen?
And had my USB with me and ended up on a lock-in party out in Bushwick where I actually got to do that. You know what? I have my USB with me. Let's
imagine.
do it.
Imagine if that was a one night you didn't bring your USB with you because you were like, you would have died. I would have died.
It's actually happened once. It feels like it might happen twice.
Yes.
That's why I always have a very small Age of Sigmar army in my pocket just in case.
Yeah. So it's not. It's that
Chaos Dwarves.
Tell me your anecdotal stories.
Yeah, okay, so the anecdotal story, as quick as that.
Sorry.
No.
We only tangents.
Welcome to Juggz.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
The tangential story real quick is so I DJ for a long time. So what was really interesting was there was a part of so DJ I had a place that I DJed in for like 15 years. Mm-hmm. So there's a bit where people would go and stand, and it was like a kind of a podium, right?
And this is about Warhammer 40k. So
they would go and dance there, right? Dance away, right?
Oh, is this the dancing lassies?
Yeah, the dancing lassies.
Okay, so this is interesting.
Right, so, but sometimes there was dudes up there as well. Anyway, they'd all dance there, right? And then eventually, over time, they would leave because they would no longer come to the club. And then they would be replaced by new,
younger, fresh set of dancing lassies.
To unfortunately say that. But then what would be really funny is about 5 years later, and you got to remember, because it was 15 years, I saw this through several cycles. Right?
The cycles of dancing lassies.
Cycles. So then what would happen is then we would get the 5 years later, the mature, we've got jobs, we've got a partner, we've got a house. They'd go for the girly night out and they'd return to the goth club that they used to go to. Yeah, that they used to go to. Right? They'd come back and they'd be like, do you remember us? I'm like, yeah. And then
you were the dancing lassies.
But then what would be amazing is they would look up at the dancing lassies and they would be like, disgusting. And the irony.
Glad we never were there.
They were like, oh, you'd never see us doing that. I'm like, that was you. And then literally, I remember it very vividly. That interaction happening, then eventually the dancing lassie swapping and becoming the older dancing lassies, it happening again, and the cycle of humanity wanting just crunch me into dust.
Do you think that's me? Am I the dancing lassie?
No.
Am I the aged out dancing lassie?
Maybe the painting lassie.
Oh my God. Yeah. I would never roll dice like that. Sluts.
Dice sluts.
Yeah. No, that's not quite what I mean. But what I do think is true is because ultimately,
I think it's settled into not being excited about it anymore.
Yeah, Warhammer is a passion of yours, but it's super okay for that passion to wax and wane. And
this is why I think it would be okay for me to talk about it on my channel, because instead of it being like, why Games Workshop's boring now, it could just be like, why it's okay to sometimes be a little less oh my God all the time about it, and that doesn't mean you love it any less. If that was what you were going to say, sorry, exactly. I interrupted you.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Slammed right into that conversation. I'm sorry.
No, what I was trying to get is I think that's an indication of that's an indication of non-self-awareness, which I don't think relates to this.
What?
But
who's not self-aware?
The older dancing lassies.
Oh, okay.
The mature lassies.
Mature dancing lassies.
But I do think the point is that as time goes on, what we think and feel about stuff does change.
See, maybe that's a me problem, because I'm I feel entitled to the same enthusiasm I had 10 years ago, because that enthusiasm to me meant that the thing was good.
So, now that has become a burden.
Well,
because you don't feel then
maybe, but I don't want to. What I don't want to do is project that outwards, right? And be like, well, it's there. Right? It's because they've gone woke that Space Marines don't have as much skulls on them anymore. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. I don't think that's true. I think this is entirely, as we are saying here, a me problem.
I don't agree with you, because what I'm saying is I think that's a good. Whenever I think about something like the fashions that younger people are wearing now, the music that they like.
That often.
Right. What I'm trying to say is, I check myself.
Yeah.
I say, you've seen people age through something and kind of like hate themselves when they're
come out
older.
the other side.
Yeah. So don't be that person. Like if people are enthusiastic, right, that's great. But if you're not enthusiastic, ask yourself why.
Yeah.
And then so I don't think it's a you problem. I think it could really be the thing problem.
Might not be a problem.
Yeah, it might not be. But I'm saying that I'm saying I sometimes just remember that story for myself and say, I'm going to use that as a check.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Does that make sense?
To make it about Games Workshop, it's really hard for me, because this would be part of the video, is like how much of it is actually factually, because is it boring now? Because lots of people are saying it's because the designs coming out of 40K are boring now. And it's like, how do we objectively check that?
Yeah.
Like how do we objectively say that's either true or false?
But also,
I don't know.
Define boring, because
Exactly.
I look at the models nowadays and they're so beautifully detailed, but I find them not interesting in a way that I would, as a hobbyist, convert and kitbash, because I can't. But they are really detailed. But it's that, like the Rohan set where I built that. It's like, and this is no judgment to the creators of the Rohan set, but they might as well just been single piece models. They have all these separate parts, but I have to build the same guys twice.
But it's a static pose.
It's a static pose.
Yes.
There's no weapon options like you'd get with Warcry, like, I'm going to replace that sword of a spear or whatever.
Or Necromunda, where you get the base kind of pose, but you get multiple different...
They might as well just, all that effort of tooling and breaking it down, you might as well just gone for more simplified one-piece models. Or
maybe
whatever.
This is a conversation we can have on the Juggz Patreon bit, and
expand
the story.
Because I really, if I was to make a video, I'd want to be so careful about the way I talk about it.
Let's do a chat later.
Can I just throw one last thing in quickly before you go? I think there's a fourth to what you were saying as well.
Okay.
Which I think personally that there's just too much and it's becoming analysis paralysis.
That's what people were saying. They're sick of FOMO. They've just got bored of seeing so much stuff
that I just don't know what to pick and get excited about, because there's too many things. It's like when you go, the first time I ever went into Subway, or what was
buffet, like an
all-you-can-eat buffet, or there was used to be a shakeout thing where you go in, there's all these different shakes and all these different ingredients. I was just like,
yes,
there's so much, I don't know what to pick. And then someone's like, you want a Subway? I was like, I love a Subway. What bread would you like? There's choices of bread. Why is there choice? Why is there 17 breads?
But I'd rather
Funny
walk
story.
away.
We actually went to Subway for lunch.
Yeah.
Can't really understand how they do it. So I feel like, okay, so they bread, and it's like they got the board.
20 breads.
Have no idea what, but I'll take that. Well, that's a panini. It's like, all right, really? Okay, couldn't tell. So I feel like could you help me out? Could you help me out a little bit? It's like, so what do you want? Then I said, do I have to,
I don't know why that
do I
was
have to
so
pull it? What do I do? It's like, it feels like it felt like a chore.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to order a
sandwich.
That's something
I
I didn't mention, but loads of people attributed it to the fact that they're just like, there's too much.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, and the FOMO element, they're just like, oh, come on. A lot of people are just, I think, a bit like maybe bored, not of the miniatures, but of the amount of stuff in the business practices too.
Yeah.
But again, if I was to make this video, I'd want it to be really positive, have a chat about my feelings, not make it about
You can be critical, I think.
I don't like doing that.
It's not negative. It's you like.
This is the thing. I don't know how to objectively be critical because I don't have an opinion. I see a new Space Marine come out. Okay, it's a bit more simplified. I don't like that as much, but that's not an objective opinion. That's just me being like, I like it when they look like walking churches instead of Iron Man.
I guess. I literally, the show I did today.
Yes.
So it's my monthly show. My monthly show that I do every month is the 3D sculpting Patreons that I follow.
That's the one I follow.
Okay,
I
like
really love that one.
Okay, Rob does a little
amazing. Looking at all the sculpts.
Yeah.
I actually ordered too many from what's it called? Bestarium.
Bestarium.
Yeah.
What a freak.
What a freak.
Every time I forget that it's in America, so it's going to be taxes,
no!
So every time.
Yeah, every time. Yeah,
they got me again.
Love the models, hate the money.
Yeah. So the important thing about that show is that very much like what we all get to do, which is super good. So they're all Patreons I support. Yeah. So basically, it's a video about this month.
It's like a hobby roundup on all the releases of 3D Patreons.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. And if you don't know, if you've never checked out a 3D Patreon, the way it works is you pay a certain amount a month. They give you a bunch of files for that month's release. And then afterwards, it normally costs much more to buy the files. So maybe it's like £15 a month on the Patreon, but £65 if I want to buy the bundle.
So if you
later
subscribe
on
to
down
the Patreon, you get a great deal.
Yeah, you're getting a great deal. And also you're supporting the creator and stuff directly.
Yeah.
And that's good. And I love it. And what's really interesting about that is that like the designers are unfettered. Right, because Louise will tell you. And Peach,
I love Dragon Trappers Lodge is my personal favorite designer.
Yes,
Shout out to them.
They did some freaky cherub dudes today.
So Dragon Trappers Lodge, they kind of like err on the whimsical a little bit more, and then every month they'll release like a cute little themed dragon as well, which is very cute.
Yeah,
it's very, very good. It's very good. So they're my favorite.
See, that's what's really interesting because like I subscribe to like very different. Like you could show me a miniature from any of the designers, and I'll be able to, mainly because of how they present it.
Yeah,
but I would be able to be like, I know who that's from because the design cues and aesthetic are very different. And I'm not an artist. I'm not a sculptor. I quite often have told people I hate art. But you
can tell.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is I'm actually really impressed by art once a month.
Yeah.
By like, I go on these things and I love minis and I see these cool things and I really love it. But what I'm not looking at is someone being like, I wonder if this is marketable. Like I'm not. I'm seeing someone be like, okay,
this is my cool thing.
They're like mushroom dragon, and then they just do something mental, and you're like, cool. And then like some stuff, like one of the ones today, I didn't know how to describe it. Like I kept reading it as because it was mushroom. They said it was demons. It was titled as demons, but they're all mushroom-ified people and things, fungoidy, but not goblins. Importantly, they were like humanists, a human shape. And then I kept reading it. I kept reading all the kind of like wide mushrooms as like coral. And I was like, this is the underwater theme. And the chat like, you're so stupid. It's not under the water. It's mushrooms.
They're oyster mushrooms.
Yeah, and then, but I was like, I'm sure this feels like there was like waves and some of the other mushrooms were like kind of felt like that they were.
I want to see this now. I'll look at it later.
Yeah.
Picture up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll put some up. That's a video I put up every month anyway. But like, what my point was is like, I'm never looking at like, cool, we need to redo Titus. Like I'm not seeing someone have to like, and I love the new Phoenix Lords for 40k as an example. I think they look amazing.
The new Eldar are beautiful, but I wasn't hyped. So I think part of it is just like I'm older now.
You know, like,
could be.
Last time we did our chat, we did a lot of chat.
You're not sure that she's older or?
Thank you, Rob. Yeah.
How does time work?
I am so young.
Do you have a time split device on you?
Arrest that man.
The last time we did the chat, you kind of like went, have you seen the new releases? And I was like, no, because I don't care about them anymore.
Yeah.
And I think, is that bad that I don't?
No, because I think
still
a
look
lot
on the
of
website.
people feel the same.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comment section, like, do you agree? Have you felt the same? Because I think I did my little like poll and it looked like a lot of people, because I just think like, oh, I must be the only one thinking this. I think a lot of new people are getting into Warhammer and they'll be feeling all the hype and stuff and everything's new. Yeah. So maybe they don't feel that way. But if you have been into Warhammer for a while, are you starting to feel a little bit like something's just not quite doing what it used to do? And why?
I might save it for the patrons.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we should save this for the Patreon.
Remind me when we do the Patreon to talk about Star Trek and the Death of Hope, because that's relevant to this, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I'm excited for that. Speaking,
I'll save my journey for that.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Rob, what have you been up to this
week? Since we last done
Thanks for asking.
I know, right?
Thanks for asking. I've edited Juggz and uploaded Juggz. Thanks everybody.
Yeah,
nice work.
Well done. Good job, Rob.
Whatever time I need. And then I ran an event this weekend. So it was an old world event this weekend. It was.
Do you mean last weekend?
The weekend just gone. Yeah. So last weekend.
Yeah.
Sorry. So last weekend.
Yeah, it gets confusing when he says.
Old world, the Foot Knights, the new that they released.
Yeah. I haven't seen them.
You like them?
You love them.
It's I must have them. That's how when I saw them at Warhammer World, it was like,
are they
I've seen them before. Which are these? I love them.
There you go. Shout out SDS team for once again.
There's loads spare at the moment, if that helps, because no one's buying them. So
is that because I'm very good in the game now?
Yeah.
but that's it's not a burden for me because I don't really care about the rules.
Yeah.
For me, he doesn't care about the rules.
I just joined the answer.
Well, that's my advice. That's actually my advice to everybody. Is like if you like a collection, that's the thing you should collect.
That's the only thing I gauge.
But there's a
same.
But there's a caveat.
I get them.
But there's a caveat, because actually I've gone through this cycle a lot with because people often will turn up in my Twitch chat, but they're like, "What's good?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Number one, not you, because you just started, right? So that's important."
Yeah, they hate that.
They hate that.
They hate that when you're
true.
You suck.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'd be a terrible you working like a sports store, and they're like, "I'm new into football or golf. What golf should I get?" I'm like, "Well, you're new, so just don't worry about what you get for now." But I assume in the golf store, they're like, "Well, the best
cheap
golf
one,
club."
Yeah, well, you're gonna want this one.
It's like the best one. Really, I think when they say what's good, they're like, tell me to spend money, big man. That's what they're asking.
Yeah.
But anyway, ran an all world event, super fun.
Sorry,
it was really fun, and the energy was just fantastic this
Good
weekend.
guys.
Really, really good guys, and there was some real standout people. Shout out to Gwillem. Gwillem bought our first ever premiere ticket.
Oh, we have premiere tickets.
What do these do then?
Get this. This is actually phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay,
so we've noticed something at our events, which is people fucking hate moving.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
Okay, now I heard about it.
Yeah.
Where you reserve like a table, you're going to be at that table.
So you buy a premiere ticket, and you don't have to move yourself or your army all day.
Hang on. What was it? Both people are playing.
No, so we only sell one per event.
Oh,
so it was really fun.
The premiere ticket.
Yeah. So Gwilla was like, I want this table, and then he would have bought some biscuits, and then when people would tell him, he was like, "Welcome to my table, biscuit."
It's kind of loved it though.
Love it.
It was really he just got to hang out. He didn't have to put his army away between games.
No.
He just got to hang out at his table.
That's very smart.
With his biscuits.
I love that.
It was super
actually
nice.
really good. Yeah.
That was really fun. But the energy was just really fantastic, and I really just walked away from that event just being like, this is why I do events, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels a little bit more like work, to be honest. But that one, it was just there was really good conversations. Everyone was kind of sharing stuff about their lives,
making friends,
talking about the stuff that they loved. The armies were super cool.
Oh, the armies are always beautiful.
Yeah. They were really fun. There was some really nice hobby as well. So it's a real opportunity to just absorb yourself in what we do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe if we ran more 40K events, I'd be more hyped for 40K. Maybe that's one of the things to bring back to me is that I'm no longer hanging out with a lot of people who play 40K.
I think that's the thing as well.
Add
you
that
need
to my list.
we do a website, a venue ranking system now. So for the events that we run here, which you can find on the tsnarena.com. So you basically get some points for winning games, points for painting, and points for best sports, right? So now, and it's a completely unfair system. If you come to more events, you're more likely to get points and therefore be the champion of the venue, right?
Wow.
It's completely unfair, right? Cards on the table, it's because I want you to come to lots of events. But what's also really fun is people get to just give each other a bit of shit, but also they get to be involved with it after the event. They get to be excited about it. It's the same thing with rankings. People get to be excited about the thing, you might be the 7th best Slanesh player in the East Midlands, but that's something you get to say, right? It is kind of dumb, but it also gives people motivation.
I love dumb shit.
Yeah.
I love a dumb competition.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. We're all here
because there's only one game of Age of Sigmar we've played, Louise, and
I absolutely kicked your ass.
Exactly.
Thank
we'll
you.
ignore the 5 world players you had on your team.
I mean, me being shadowed by 5 coaches.
5 coaches who are all behind your back being like this.
Right, yeah.
What's more important is that in my very first, I have 100% win rate against Rob, and I plan to never change that by playing another game against Rob.
But are you on the Milarki website as well?
I should be with my 100% win rate against
we'd have to play again, I'm afraid.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah,
why? Because then, what do you mean? Just because I'd be at 100, I'd be number 1 in the world. So that's how it works. That's exactly how that works.
Do you have to actively play to use Milarki? Can you just use it for your own personal collections and stories? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So we have people who actually have people who did come in and wrote stories about their Trench Crusade campaign they were starting using our narrative writing and things like that. So
very cool.
And that's a really nice problem to have.
Yeah.
Where people find you and use the creativity
to
use. And for me, it's
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Yeah,
that means that it's actually a tool that people want to use.
Yes,
and for me, that's really important.
So, you'd rather have a tool that's useful for multiple things and
and for people to feel like, you know what, I want to use my brain and my creativity to wrap my head around this.
Yeah,
I actually care that much.
Yeah.
Can I use it for Trench Crusade? Will you be mad at me?
No.
Thank you.
I'm not really a mad person.
No.
Will anyone yell at me crazy. If I use it for Trench Crusade?
Another kind of mad, as you say.
Yeah.
So random event of the weekend, and then I've just been making some videos. Super simple and easy peasy.
It's been a chill week.
It's been a chill week.
Apart from getting your everything in a venue ripped out.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We're also still. I'm still helping manage, obviously, the big change in the venue, which is pretty specific. So trying to get on top.
It's
of
a good change, though. Right?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, we're having the manufacturing room like ripped out and put together.
Not be a toilet anymore.
Not be a toilet anymore. Yeah, it feels like if we're going to run a proper company, I probably should not just manufacture in a girl's room.
As the CEO of said company, I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. So that's and it's also looking super cool as well. And
that's great.
And I'm really excited about the future because like maybe in the future I could like give people lessons and stuff in there.
What?
Like if I feel it's a little not like. I'm not going to do like sell tickets or anything, but I'm just like with you, Peach.
It's a nicer space to introduce people
how to do it right.
Yeah, well, I can bring you in, like mask you up and stuff, and I'd be like, cool, this is my process, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Can I bring the GIMP mask?
Yeah, of course.
That must be so good.
I know I've got an Age of Sigmar event this weekend, which Jesper from Milarki is playing in.
Yeah, Jesper's
which is cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is he going to log it on Malarkey? That's the question. Good.
I run all my.
I run all the events.
Yeah. I'd probably have gone to kick him out.
Imagine if he didn't. So pretty cool week.
Yeah, it's been a good week.
You said you were worn out though. You said you were feeling a bit worn out earlier.
I am feeling a bit worn out this week. I
think he's coming down with a little something.
Yeah.
I think he's a little sleepy boy.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want a hug?
Oh yeah, I'd love one. Thanks. That sounds great.
Yeah.
It's also I've also been streaming all week, and like streaming at the moment is challenging because people are bringing a lot of like their world's feeling, like the feeling about the world's quite rightly so to the conversation, which is really really okay. Yeah. But then I'm also trying to like sometimes you're trying to do your work, and then people are like, I'm scared I'm going to die, and you're like. That's a lot. Anyway, this model.
Well, you gotta make it a nice place for people.
Yeah, I try really hard.
That's the only thing we can really fucking do.
I mean,
right?
There's been a lot of comments on the last episode where people are saying it's a nice escapism film, like because the world is fucking on fire.
I can't do anything about it.
I know, and that is our job. Our job is to make things entertaining. Absolutely. So sorry for bringing it up.
No,
but that can be
important.
That just before I press the button, I'm just like, okay, your job for the next 2.5 hours, 3 hours is there's people there, like is to be empathetic when I don't shout at the chat. Like that's their fault though. It shouldn't be dumb.
You're so mean to your chat.
He's honest.
So mean to them.
No, but my job is to like make people like there's gonna be people who turn up. It's like find out what they're up to, see how they're doing, like try to make them happy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's my job, as well as explore what I'm trying to do, like in the hobby as well, and find out what's going on in the world and stuff.
I just yap.
Yeah, you just yap.
I just yap at them.
Yeah, is that your strategy?
I'm just like meow 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 meow, and they're like boop, 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 boop. That's our chat.
That's kind of
not a brain cell between us. just yapping away.
Well, so the main topic today is like stuff that we do in our spare time that's not Warhammer.
Yeah, who are we outside of what has become something that defines us in a very big way?
Yes.
Let's not start with me. Let's
why have to start, mate? You're the one with the questions.
I love that no one wants to answer this question.
I can go first. I can go first.
You don't have to feel the pressure, Peach.
Peachy, you go first, then Rob, because I'm interested in what Rob has to say.
Yeah,
and then we'll do me, and then we'll go to you. So you have the longest time to make up an entirely different persona for yourself.
To make
mountain
it up.
climbing.
I'm going to make most of it.
I need to make something up
Peachy,
to make this sound at least a little bit decent and normal.
Peachy, what are your hobbies outside of Warhammer? And I'm going to say the miniature hobby in general.
You see, it's really weird because a lot of them have a bit of crossover.
Yeah,
to a certain degree.
I completely agree.
And I think one of the big ones, I've not done it that much for a while, is I used to draw a lot.
Yeah.
And that's
good at drawing.
I used to be better, and I think I've not done it enough that I've lost some of that skill. But I would sketch every night as a kid. I used to do Ninja Wars,
obviously.
Ninja Wars,
the
upcoming game.
The novel of our time.
Yeah.
That was one.
I'm excited. Are you excited? Ninja Wars, a miniature game coming soon.
It's couldn't be more excited, Rob.
Just as a quick question, what do you think the game's about?
Just a quick question.
I guess that it's about ninjas to go to war.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Basically, you're different clans of ninjas warring with each other.
Yeah.
So,
Could have gone in any direction there.
The thing is, though, is I will play that.
Yeah.
I will play the hell out of that.
nailed.
Rob, what's your favourite colour?
Mine, orange.
Oh, so you're orange ninjas? What's your favourite colour?
Green.
But is there
Green ninjas?
really orange in the real world?
Oh no, my sister would be like, well,
No,
those ones
yeah.
aren't
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not real.
Laura,
That's
Laura
true.
would
That's
not be
true.
picking the orange ninjas.
No, but it's now black. It's a good color for ninjas.
It's
Yeah.
the best colour for ninjas,
Yeah.
certainly for nighttime. But when it's daytime, no one cares.
Yeah, that's
You
not
need to
good.
know the
cares.
deep lore of Ninja Wars.
Yeah.
So this is something
Let's cover this later.
Yeah.
All right, it'll take forever.
There's like
Yeah.
Don't
This is
go there.
Hobbies,
Don't go
right.
there.
TLDR, it's what were you like 5, 8?
Oh god, yeah, it's somewhere between 5 and I did quite a lot onwards, but I started drawing
Your career.
in my career of like sketching, and my mum would always like give me
Ninja
like
painting,
reams
yeah.
of paper, and I ended up there was an old book about Tolkien, encyclopedia about Tolkien. There was like loads of really nice art by Ian Miller, so I used to copy that. Then I started like pausing when I got a bit older. Started pausing Lord of the Rings and sketching with an ink pen. So when it went wrong, it was
It's
a
how
proper,
you get good at things.
Exactly,
is by
yeah.
copying stuff.
my Aragorn at Amon Hen doing that with his sword ended up like Michael Jackson because I screwed his nose up.
I want to see
So
this.
bad.
I want to see
It was
this.
so bad, but I got quite confident with my skills at drawing. I used to do it a lot, so then I kind of became a full timer at workshop, and it kind of drifted off. But I still sketch here and there, and I like doing like maps. I love doing like maps, cartography, whatever you want to call it.
Are you good at maps?
He is
I
very
wouldn't
good
say
at
I'm
maps.
good at maps. I enjoy
Disagree.
drawing maps. I used to do it lots when I was at school. We used to make like treasure islands and make like
But-
Do
pirate.
you feel
Put
you've
it
lost
this
some
way.
direction with it?
No, I think
I don't think
imagine
so.
this.
Took me a second, but yeah.
I didn't get it until you started laughing. Imagine though, because I don't think you're like not good at it, but imagine if we gave you a month to do a map. That
Oh,
would
yeah.
be exactly.
Yeah,
It's not that you're not good at it, you just don't have the time anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Because
Peaches,
if we gave you a whole
we
month.
need to talk more about you doing maps.
I
to
love-
be honest,
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Booben tried to commission me and I was like, I have no
Not,
time.
no ulterior motives at all.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, there's probably
I would
better.
just want you
just
to
love
commit
maps.
to making more maps.
If you like maps that look
'Cause-
like they've been sketched for Lord of the Rings novels, then that's that. I'm your guy.
Yeah.
If you want something a bit more detailed, then I'm not your guy. And also, I tend to, unlike Louise, I'm not very digital. I tend to be paper and pen.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
I need to get tech to do that. But yeah, drawing is one of them.
Yeah.
Reenacting became something for a long time when I was in the studio, and that's kind of adjacent to Warhammer because I dress up as a knight, look like an Empire soldier, and then just hit people with steel weapons. Which
That's
was
nice.
so
They used to
Hell
do
yeah.
LARPing,
like
right?
SCA or
LARPing, no.
Reenacting and LARPing is very different. How
Yeah.
fucking
is
I
that
agree.
dare you?
like SCA or
SCA.
It was didn't they call that?
I know they call it HEMA, which is historical European.
What's
martial
SCA?
arts.
Like
SCA is like with the historical anachronist. It's like big
reenacting?
organization in the world.
I've never heard
for
of
doing.
it.
I did not know.
I think,
Ah.
but maybe they call. Yeah, but it's a big organization for that.
Okay,
Oh, there
yeah,
you
I'm
go.
not aware of it, but then that doesn't mean I don't know. It might exist. It
So
might not.
was it reenactment?
It was,
Reenactment,
yeah, and it was. I kind of joined Dave Andrews' group for it was the War of the Roses, so it was like the first English
Is that the
Civil
one
War, if you like.
Duncan's in?
It's like
No, he does Napoleonics now.
Society for Creative Anachronism.
Oh,
I think
Oh, there
it's
you go.
called. Yeah, so it's a huge organization in the world for reenactment
Oh, I
and
didn't know
different.
this. I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah,
I'll have to
I did that for many years
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
Oh, there you go. Ha, you do have a hobby.
Yeah.
That was outside
I had,
Warhammer.
yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
We got
Yeah.
one. Yes.
Yeah, I had, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
Good. There's one. Keep that in your
Right,
pocket.
yeah.
Keep that in your pocket for
Keep that in
later.
your pocket.
So
Video-
reenactments,
video
drawing.
game and drawing.
Yeah.
I love playing. I'm a big fan of management games, as we've discovered on Juggz Law. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Having a harem of women in Fallout is not a management game.
That is
not a
absolutely.
man-
You've never tried to do it, Louise.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
And
Those
it's-
women out of control.
It's hard finding because whenever you get like villagers turn up to like your settlements, it's like you're a dude. Here, lady, catsuit, off you go.
Off you pop.
You walk around with those like mods I put
There's
on.
a psychologist watching this right now being like, Jesus Christ.
So
I can make so much money off this.
people are like, Peachy, get sculpting, do it,
You
make models.
should.
Yeah, they'll all have big titties though.
They would.
Yeah.
That's fine though.
There's a big market for that.
On one of my
it's not even a niche.
It's not even
the 3D Patreon, there's always like, it's really funny.
Oh, it's so funny when he's on stream because he'll just be looking at miniatures and then he'll just be like, yep, that's a cool dwarf. That's a cool dwarf. That is a dwarf with massive titties.
Well, it's actually the same sculptors they do like a single pin-up model.
Yeah.
And and it's always a video. They release, very oddly, they're the only sculptors also release their new mini sets as a video, like 360 videos and stuff, versus a bunch of pictures. And then I'm always like, I click it and we all watch it and talk about it as it's going through. And then I'm always like, oh my God, a titty model. I would not have believed this would happen. Yeah, like skip through really quick every time.
Is Louise watching? Oh no.
It's just so funny every time. I'm like, why? But that could be your niche.
Yeah, could be. I mean,
I think you'd be good at it.
I don't know.
I think you would.
I mean, I was looking at it came up in my feed. We print miniatures. I get some of that stuff a lot because they provide actual physical prints.
Yeah,
Printer. It's really good. And on one of their adverts on Instagram, the first image was like a vampire lady. She sat very seductively on a chaise lounge, which is completely naked. I was like, is there any way I can get that into my vampire count army? Absolutely. I mean, there's a clothed one, but I mean that's just pretty cool. I know Liz will be like, "Why are you painting that?"
You can put it on there.
Yeah. You and the guy that did Deathbringer. What was his name?
Frank Frazetta.
Frank Frazetta. Yeah. That's why he did all the naked women art, right?
I mean, kind of, but also, man loved a titty.
And an ass and a thigh.
And all
we've been talking about this. You also want to do something that you like.
Yeah.
Sure, Peachy, follow your heart.
Follow my heart.
And if your heart says
you like as well,
which kind of leads to the other hobby I have, which is like taking photos of random action figures and dolls. Some of them are a little bit more risque than others.
I remember the first one you showed me. It was just like I don't want to say Barbie scale, but it is Barbie scale action figures, but like with like fucking whatchamacallit. I think this one was in like a Roman outfit or something. I think
so, yeah.
So it was a Spartan or something. It was very cool. That was one of your early ones.
I did a lot of Red Sonja because I kind of lost my drawing skill. No, I not lost it. I just didn't use it.
You didn't do it as much. Yeah.
I wanted to do like some cool fantasy art, and I had these action figures. I was like, I'll just take photos of him in like Frank Frazetta poses.
Yeah,
and that's what I started doing. And then it kind of took a weird sideways.
You descended into sin.
And the story of my life. That took a weird.
That's for the Patreon, I think. Yeah.
So the impetus was because the reason it was because you really wanted to create some like art in front of you, but you couldn't necessarily draw it, and you wanted to recreate its existence.
Just make something.
And there was another reason for doing it. I'd lost my love for Warhammer during that period. So there's a whole. I think it was like somewhere between 8 months to a year. That was when I wasn't doing much filming at work because they kept like taking all the photographers away, or the editors away, or the cameras away. So I felt like I just didn't know what to do. So and I lost my love for the hobby in the evenings. We had to do streaming, so I had to like force myself to like painting miniatures.
Well, that's going to make it worse, isn't it?
But you know what it did? So taking photos of like 6-scale figures, because that's the scale of them.
That's what you call them. Yeah,
it's like 12 inches in height and stuff.
Barbies.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I saw your face.
But you know what it did? It really helped my photography for miniatures.
Oh, great
process. So I got better because I was doing this every night, taking photos of these like from different poses, then adding filters like smoke, and then like playing around with the f-stop and like the ISO. Yeah.
You got better at photography.
And I got better at photography, and I really enjoyed that. And then when it came to like doing my battle reports and stuff on my videos and like Instagram, I like got really into like doing like moody sort of scenes and things like that.
Yeah, so actually arranging things.
Broadening your hobby horizons helped your main hobby.
Yeah. So weirdly, the hobbies I do are adjacent to what I like, but I've helped in a weird way as well.
No way that the things that you like doing are also like the other thing you like doing.
Yeah, it's mad.
Blown away.
Also playing Minecraft with Charlie. I had no concept of Minecraft until Charlie was like, I want to play Minecraft, given the practice one, which we mentioned on Juggz before.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I think Rob would love it because Rob's like, don't like cubes.
So good.
It's weird. You literally said, I don't like it because it's just cubes.
It's true.
Shout out to there's a YouTube channel called Avamance, and he's such a down to earth, and you can tell he aims for kids because there's no swearing, but he's so sarcastic.
Oh, nice.
But I just enjoy because Charlie likes watching these videos for like the builds he does.
I like Minecraft build videos too.
I just like his presenting style. It's so good, and like this is like you're a bit like him. I'm like I don't think I am, but that's very kind of you. I like his presenting style. He's really really good. So check him out. Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know his actual name, but his channel's called Avamance.
Avamance.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
He does a video a month, I think.
What about you, Rob? What are your hobbies outside of Warhammer?
Well, one of my favorite hobby is hanging out with my
editing Warhammer videos.
That doesn't count either.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, my favorite hobby is hanging out with my girlfriend.
Who?
Nice.
Yeah.
Who?
Damn it! I forgot I was right. Mrs. Peachy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Everyone in the chat,
so wait,
I nailed that.
Which is one you like hanging out with? Like, have a cookie.
So no, I do. No, I genuinely do love hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're passing around cookies. We're all having cookies.
All right. This is okay. No, I genuinely do enjoy hanging out with Louise. Like, it's one of my favorite things. She's so funny. Like, and I don't want to make this about like Louise, but like
I don't know, you do me.
But like it's genuinely really really fun, and I don't get a lot of spare time.
You're fun.
Thank you.
We have fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like,
and she should absolutely do gaming streaming because she's completely mental, right?
I do love
and she does the craziest shit I have ever seen.
Remember Kick the Fox?
Yeah, I remember Kick the Fox. I remember you would maybe like watch you, like you're like, you've got to watch me do Animal Crossing. I'm like, what are you doing? It's just the most crazy shit. Talk to everything. She's a lunatic.
I can't talk about the first time.
No. Anyway, so that is genuinely very fun.
I like that I'm one of your hobbies. I'm fun.
It's genuinely the most fun bit I do. But I like playing computer games a lot. Mm-hmm. So I play Total War and just any computer games that come out really. I'm a 4X strategy game or a JRPG fan.
Love a management game.
Survivor games. Yeah.
Do you like survival games?
Yeah, me and my friends doing Raft now.
Oh, okay.
And we the fun thing is that we like the build and crafting part of it. So you always set down the survival level.
Same. I'm in Subnautica.
You want a little challenge, but you don't really. Not that much.
You want completely
the
agree.
Exploration and building and the creativity of part.
I want my games to primarily.
No,
I agree. I want my games to primarily be fun to play and not a frustrating challenge. Some people find the frustrating challenge part of games fun.
No,
but for me, if I play Subnautica on like exploration mode, I don't feel bad about it because I'm still it's my game and I should be able to have fun the way I like.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rob, you like your video games?
Yeah, I do genuinely love video games like a lot. Yeah. Like they're super super fun. I would like to do some more like playing games with people thing.
Yeah,
but like board games or like
video games.
Like video games. So like even the other day,
we'll have to do Total War together.
I would love. No, we're not playing Total War together. Do you know what we're going to play together? I've already planned it. We're going to play on stream. We're going to play Total War Napoleon together.
Oh my God, I'm so good at that. I'm going to smash you into the ground.
So Rob's been, genuinely, Peachy, Rob's been talking about this for like a week and he's just remembered it. He's so excited. He literally wants to play Total War Napoleon next
so
week.
good.
Yeah. We'll get hats and we'll do a co-stream.
Can you be Napoleon Bonaparte? Please?
Yeah, the whole thing. It'll be super fun.
Yeah, because he's really
ship
tall.
battles are hard.
Yeah, I know.
But it's so much fun.
They're really.
I'm genuinely excited for this.
This is going to be genuinely good.
Can that just be an episode of Juggz? You two playing?
No, it could be an episode of something we do.
We have to do voices. Though.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can.
No.
Come on, you bastards.
You could be the commentator, Louise.
It looks the short man's getting angry.
The red men with the smoky guns are shooting the blue men with the smoky guns.
I like the velvet and the fluffy hats.
I have like the snare drums.
No. But I do work a lot, so like it's difficult. It's difficult to get like hobby time in.
You're time poor.
Time poor. And I know. Like, I mean, I'm super lucky. I get to do the thing that I really like. I get to do for work. So like, I don't like. And sometimes I do want to switch off. And also the other problem I have with wanting to play online games is like, who do I play with? Because this is going to sound like such a worries me situation. I'm surrounded by so many wonderful people in my life. I've got so many good friends who I don't give any time to, and I'm a really bad friend.
Yeah,
like
disagree. You're my best friend.
Thank you, but I am a genuinely really bad friend to like some of the most amazing people that you can have.
I feel that
because I just like I don't even think it's like selfishness. Like I'm constantly like I just don't have time for that. Like, and it's not even because. like, I just don't know how, like, if I was to see, like, even all the people who I love, if I even spent like an hour with them a week, I would literally die in a ditch because I would never work. Like,
yeah. Like, if you were a good friend, like an active participant in
people's lives. Yeah. And I feel awful about it.
Because you're such a nice person. You have so many friends. That's a lovely thing. But I absolutely feel the same.
You're so nice, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Well, this is why we just get them on the podcast, because it's like now you have to sit with us.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not trying to bring that up for like any sympathy. I'm just trying to say that, like, whenever I say it to myself, I'm like, maybe I should play an online game. And I'm like, who the fuck do I ask?
Yeah.
And then also I get a little bit concerned about committing to that relationship because I want to be like, hey, by the way, I really don't have that time all the time, definitely. So like,
except for Minecraft, which we are all going to play together.
Okay,
forever.
perfect. Apart from that,
I mean, I'm going to throw in there. So Steve, really good mate of mine, he drops me messages, and sometimes I don't always spot the messages straight away. And it could be like 2-3 days before I respond, and sometimes he'll send another one going, "How you doing?" Because he's a really good friend. I'm a shit friend, and I do feel bad but he understands that I'm focused on work, and my weeks are like work, and it's Friday release, and then like messages, respond. So I totally understand where you're coming from and how you feel.
With all of us, I think we all know how each other's work. We love you, Steve. But if you ever like,
we're saying sorry because I got a list. I guess.
Well, this is it. I think
it's huge.
Part of being in a good friendship is not having that expectation on the other person to have the constant maintenance and understanding what their level is. So I think we're lucky that us three are very similar. That if you didn't message us for 2 weeks, we wouldn't instantly assume you hated us.
Or died.
I would maybe assume you died. But importantly, I wouldn't think you were like a bad friend for doing
that would definitely be one of my hobbies if I had the time though.
What,
be
just
like,
friendship?
Just I don't drink, but I love just going to the pub. Yeah. Like with a bunch of mates who are like,
we're going out for dinner tonight.
Yeah. But like I love that. Like, and there's so many people that I would like love to do that with regularly, catch up with what they're doing.
Traveling?
Seeing, I guess so.
Coming to Sweden?
So let's list them. List the hobbies. I've started, I play music now.
Yeah. You play music?
Yeah.
I'm saying that just for the reaction.
I'm a musician.
I'm a musician
now.
I'm
a performance artist.
I've started taking up music. Louise, do you disagree?
No.
So what kind of music?
It's kind of the one note.
It's kind of just imagine an earth-shattering fart noise sporadically for 2-second intervals on repeat.
Yeah, I'm taking up the didgeridoo. Yeah, taking up the didgeridoo.
Okay, yeah.
Taking up the didgeridoo.
You're useful as a musician in a unit in Warhammer, though, so it's very adjacent.
He would, exactly.
Thank you.
So it doesn't count. That's Warhammer.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. It's Warhammer, Jason.
I like reading, but I'm normally at the moment I'm doing that via audiobooks.
You used to do martial arts.
That's not a current hobby.
Yeah, I know, but I think you would pick that up again. Maybe, would you?
I don't know. I'm quite old now.
But you started to work out. Did you say that?
So I've started going to the gym. I don't consider that to be a hobby. I'm just trying to stay healthy.
Yeah. It's not necessarily fun.
No. I'm mainly just trying to organize my life a little bit. So like, I'm not really giving myself a lot of personal time, but I pick up computer games and I play them quite a bit, and I love films.
Yes, of course.
I love films and I love TV shows. Absolutely love them to pieces. I know some people are like, you just turn your brain off. I'm like, yes, fine. Yeah, I turn my brain off. I probably turn my brain on all day. I'm really okay.
Being an enthusiast for something is definitely a hobby. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you don't do anything. Like, I would consider like things like history a hobby of mine because I actively watch YouTube videos about it constantly.
Okay, in which case I probably am actively pretty interested in like politics and stuff like that.
Is politics a hobby though? Okay, yes.
I don't know.
You can have it. You can have it.
Yeah.
I'll let you have that.
I don't know. No. Just staying up to date with current affairs.
That's
not really a hobby.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. We'll give him it.
Thanks.
There you go.
Yeah, I sound boring actually on paper.
No, you're not boring on paper. You're
I'm boring on paper. I draw. Take photos.
If I had loads of time and money, I'd love to go to museums. I love traveling.
Yeah. I think travel would be one of your hobbies.
Yeah, and I love taking photos as well. Like a lot, like photos and videos. Are so fun. Like when you get to travel away. So like when we go to Adepticon, I'll be like,
he wants to know that you want a new camera.
A group photographer. No, I can't afford a new camera. That would be awesome. But like, I can't afford a new camera. But I will just grab one of the cameras we have and just be like a little beep beep beep. Yeah, even though a phone's just good enough, it's nice. Like I come from the age where like having that like
physical media is nice.
Not analog. It'll still be a digital camera.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like having a camera that's a separate thing from your phone where you do all your other things.
Yeah.
I
It's so
like that
nice.
too. Yeah,
it feels great.
Like I miss iPods.
Oh, really?
I love iPods. I love having a separate thing for separate things. It feels like good.
Yeah, it does feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. I don't know why that does feel good. Kim, what about you?
So we had some time to think now.
Yeah.
But it's gaming. It's I do a lot of comes and goes, but computer gaming. Because we're a gaming group of friends. We have a Discord and hang out and play a lot of cooperative gaming.
What'd you play?
Right now it's Raft.
Survival game.
So Peachy,
love
it's in that genre. We did the survival. So Conan Exiles is one example that we've been playing a lot. It's like the gold standard of survival games.
You had me at Conan. To be fair,
I've never played it.
I mean, it's really good. With all its flaws, it's one of the betters, and it's
I'm gonna
good
get it in my phone
experience.
so I can Google it.
Then I play a lot of role playing games. So we have 2 campaigns going. So I play every week. I'm having a vampire campaign, and 2 of those maybe.
Vampire the Masquerade. Yeah.
That one's really popular.
Yeah, it's been around a long time.
Why is it so popular?
Why have we never
Why?
I don't know.
To be honest, I think it's
survive.
A big
build,
part
dominate.
of it is because it's in the kind of like now in the real world. So you get a lot for free.
Cool.
When you play, you don't have to describe everything.
Yeah. It's
part of the world.
microtransactions.
You can just describe what's different.
Yeah.
Instead of I think that's the big appeal.
Okay.
To be honest.
Cool.
We play that and what's more? Well, music, of course. As a DJ, I spend too much looking for music. Crate digging, but it's not really, since it's digital now, it's not really crate digging anymore. But you're trying to find new music in your genres.
Yeah.
I remember when we first met, all we did was just say bands at each other at the dinner table, and we were like, yes, next, and that's always good fun.
Yeah,
I love music.
So music is obviously a real big part of my been for my life, my whole life. So
I mean, and that's loads of things, I guess. Music.
Yeah,
that covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, but it's always been really at the forefront, like the passion, listening to and like that. So more games, music.
That's plenty.
And I have the brain that picks up all the unnecessary information, everything. So I'm a quiz master as well. I have a company. But I have a company that's for it, so it's not really a hobby anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It could be a hobby.
You know what they say when I find something you like, work a day in your
That's
bullshit.
true.
Absolutely
That's
bullshit.
true. Yeah.
You work every single day of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the opposite.
Find something you like, and you work every hour of the day.
It's literally the opposite.
And that's me.
But does it feel like work?
Yes, sometimes.
I saw someone the other day. Say
it still has to be done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the
problem.
Then it has to be done.
Yeah, I saw someone the other day be like, "What's your dream job?" And they were like, "It's not a job.
I don't dream of
I've
labor.
never dreamed of working."
This is it. Like I don't dream of labor. Like I don't dream of getting up every day and going to work.
I mean, I had a dream once where I did a full day's work. And
oh my god!
Oh,
so bad.
It was a dream. Yeah.
Phone in that day. I've done it actually.
I got paid twice for that day. Sorry, I worked twice, but got paid once.
Louise, what are your hobbies? Oh no, the perfect timing. You're eating a cookie.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's okay. No problem.
Why did you come back to me?
Well, because I thought you would realise that we were during the natural part of the conversation going towards you. But it turns out you were like, no, it's cookie time.
Do you want some more cookie?
Thank you.
Not you. We're having cookies.
It's actually, I know no one's ever passed me cookie.
You want?
That's okay. No. Please tell me.
How long have you been playing Napoleon Total War for then?
0.
Oh my god! Why are you already competitive about this? What is going on?
It's the only thing I'll ever be competitive about.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I finished my cookie.
Okay, everyone is excited to watch me get my ass kicked by the most horny Peach ever. You're not even doing a square, you're so stupid.
You always fall square against cavalry. Do you not know this?
Genuinely excited to watch
drawings
this.
for him.
I was going to run around and be like, I'm a colonial, watch out.
Capital. You have to say capital so much.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I'll play as one of the colonized people's Peach, so we can recreate. I just make you feel bad.
You want Empire, then you want to play Empire.
Just kill them. Yeah. Anyway,
Louise? What are your hobbies?
I have arguably too many.
That's a good point.
So this is the funny joke is that Tom, our sculptor, is always like, whenever he mentions something in passing, I'm like, oh yeah, I know basically everything about this, and I have too many hobbies. So I was going to do a video which is like ranking all of my hobbies. So obviously Warhammer, big hobby, main one, miniature painting, very good fun. Yeah. I'm not going to count things like now sculpting, kind of doing a little bit of that. Yeah. Drawing as well. I used to, again, be a lot better at doing things like illustration. Used to be what I did for fun when I was wee. That's why I entered the career that I did. So like miniature art, let's just art cover all. Music. I make music. I play instruments.
Great
and
music,
I also
tell me more.
Okay, this is fun.
It might not be that kind of podcast, but
no,
I'm really curious.
So the music,
making music.
The music I actually make, as far as like the stuff that I put on the internet, is like just shitty dungeon synth.
It's not shit, it's great.
It's pretty shit. It's just stuff that I make with my little MIDI keyboard. I put sounds together that I think are nice, and then I just make little songs. It's nothing serious, but it's a little hobby that I have to do.
It's like 8-bit music.
I just downloaded an 8-bit pack. Actually, I haven't made much 8-bit music at the moment, but hey, I'll show you later. It's just fun. It's just fun. Please. And then I play some instruments. So I can do, obviously, keyboard, do a little not very well. I do guitar, a little bit of that. I've recently picked up the ocarina, loving that.
Oh yes, and don't forget your medieval soundboard.
Oh yeah, well I'm counting that as like a MIDI keyboard. That I've always had little MIDI synthesizers like Korgs and things like that, just like little soundboard sort of shit. But yeah, I've recently got into the ocarina, which is great fun. I'm really enjoying that because I quite like wind instruments and stuff. So music, I would say toy collecting put in one category. So I love a lot of toys. I used to work in a toy shop because I really like toys. I collect Sylvanian families. I collect Tamagotchis and Bionicle, Gundam. I guess we can put that in that category now. Loads of toys. Name a toy. Probably into it.
Sylvanian families.
Did I say Sylvanian? I did it.
Jellycats.
I did.
Jellycats.
Oh, Jellycats, exactly. So I collect a lot of toys. I'm in a lot of like toy fandoms, you could say. What else do I do? I like sea glass collecting. I like I put that, I guess that's in my kind of like treasure hunting category, which is I have to have categories for
I like
my
that
hobbies.
that's a category.
It's a category. Well, yeah, because
making categories, another category.
Oh yeah. Spreadsheets. So like treasure hunting, which would be sea glass collecting, beach combing, and metal detecting recently. That's a good hobby. What else do I do? I like walking around.
Yeah.
Is that a hobby?
I used to do a thing on my Instagram where I would do like historical walking tours, where I would just walk to places which were cool, like castles and stuff, and do a little bit of a history lesson about that too. So quite like a little bit of that. I used to want to be like a paleontologist, archaeologist, so I'm really into people digging stuff up out the ground and categorizing those things, again, into categories.
Yep.
Worms.
Yeah, love worms. I guess I really like animals. I like pets and things. They're really good. I don't love traveling because I don't love being on planes. So I wouldn't say that's one of my hobbies.
I think you would enjoy traveling. I would, ignoring the plane.
But that's not one. No. What else do I like? Oh, video games. Obviously, love playing games. Constantly playing some kind of little video game. I don't like cooperative games because I get performance anxiety and I like being by myself. So, what else do I do, Rob?
You do like movies. You love movies.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And TV shows.
I love cinema.
You love cinema.
That's what people who want people to know that you're not like the other girls say. I like cinema. I like cinema.
I like movies.
It's a wanky way of saying you like movies. Yeah, I enjoy cinema.
Yeah.
I like, again,
You
I
quite like
music
absurdist
a lot.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
For cinema.
I like a lot. I like a lot of weird shit.
Yeah.
I like a lot of weird shit. I like going to gigs, but again, that's music, right?
Yeah, it's in that category.
Yeah, it's in that category. What else do I like? Fucking loads of
cooking.
shit.
You like
cooking?
cooking?
Cooking, of course. That's a massive hobby of mine.
Yeah, how can you forget?
I love cooking. Yeah. I was at one point going to make like a complete separate Instagram account just for my cooking because love cooking. Well, I do fucking shit tons of shit.
I like that. I was like, what do I like? I bet Liz will be like, you do this? Oh yeah.
Yeah, literally. I would have completely forgot about cooking. What else do I do? Rob, help me.
Well, I like dressing up, by the way.
Oh, LARPing!
LARPing, yeah.
Of course, I do LARPing as well.
LARPing.
I fucking love LARPing. See, there's so much shit. There's so much shit.
Do you know one of the things I really like doing? Sitting. And just
is that a hobby? Because
is sitting, turning your phone off and just not engaging with anything
That's
a hobby?
So not
tree
true.
bathing.
Yeah.
Tree bathing.
What's tree bathing?
Yeah, it's where you just go for a walk under the trees or just sit with a chair
God.
underneath the trees and just listen to the
New
wind.
hobby unlocked.
Being a hobbit.
Yeah,
Tree
just
bathing.
sitting. Just sitting. And also, no one can talk to you.
Yeah.
Rob, that's so not true because I like
to trend that.
I like to have quiet time, and you're always like, I can't do this, Louise. I can't. I need to.
I meant alone sitting.
Oh, fuck you, buddy. I was gonna say my last hobby is hanging out with Rob. Rescinded. Absolutely no.
That sounds great.
What else do I like? Oh, I quite like fantasy books and stuff like that. I guess just like obviously I listen to more audiobooks and reading, but there's a current conversation that audiobooks count as reading. So
well, you can do both at the same time.
Well,
you can do hobby and listen.
Count as reading. Yeah. No.
Audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, in this modern day and age where everyone is so busy, audiobooks should count as reading.
Yeah.
You're absorbing the information from a
you're
book.
absorbing information, but you're not really reading the words,
Sitting
which is a really increment part of your brain.
It certainly helps your brain to read it, but
sitting and reading a book would feel like the most luxurious thing.
All right.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine thinking, today's the day where I've got an hour to sit and read a book.
I like swimming as well.
It's true.
I do love, I was like, is there a sport I actually like doing?
It feels like we're steering away from hobbies now to just things I like.
Maybe. But I used to do scuba diving as a hobby, which counts as
We feel like it's just...
Fuck you, Kim! I weaponized my enjoyment of swimming into breathing underwater. Can you breathe underwater? I don't fucking think so.
We're going to try later.
Watch out.
I enjoy waterboarding. Yeah, it's like,
Can I tell you waterboarding?
Is that a hobby?
Can I tell you one of my favorite hobbies, actually? One of my favorite hobbies is the Patreon video we're about to record because it's the end of the show. We've all done great.
So is this the end?
This is the end.
Yeah,
you made it. We've done it.
Now we came here. We came here with an order. You need to get some sound bites that we can use for Milarki. It's like felt like.
Oh, okay. Let's do some sound bites.
You've done great.
You think we got?
I love Milarki. Let's do some more.
There you go. But we're not doing it anymore because we've got stuff to do. So I hope. Thank you, Kim, for coming on our Juggz.
Yeah. Worked hard for it.
Thanks for being here.
And thank you, Peach, Louise, and everyone who's watching.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure.
Anytime, come back.
We'll see you all soon. Loads of love. Bye.
I forgot.